All right, we're live. We've been talking about doing this for a while.
We have.
I'm glad we finally pulled it off.
It's about time.
What are you doing in town?
I came here and did a little surfing. Started off the plane. Then I had to do a UFC thing where I did a trained Blake Griffin this afternoon.
Oh, okay. I saw that picture.
Yeah. So we were mixing it up MMA. He's showing me how to dunk over a car, and I was teaching him how to whip some ass.
When we see a guy like that, that's like a giant athlete like that, don't you want to go, man?
You have a fucking great radio voice. I've never heard the radio. I mean,
the radio voice?
Your stand-up, you're fucking man. Now you're like, and
this
now
is my conversation
this is like
voice.
This is like well, you know.
Well, if we were at dinner, I'd have the same voice.
Okay, gotcha. All right, you're like, and next on the stage,
Destiny coming to the main stage. $14 kamikazes. Nice and smooth.
Right.
When you see like a dude like that, do you want to tell him, man, with that fucking body, you could be heavyweight champion of the world?
That's what I was telling him. I was like, you're huge. Your grips, like everything about you was just massive. But you know, when we were like doing some under-overs and some like wrestling, and I think he was kind of like letting me, like I felt like he was like limping arming me. I was like, you little pussy, like fucking man, give me, you know what I mean? Like, don't fucking big brother me right now. Like, don't give me oh, I'm just a little kid. So then once I fucking gave him that talk, then he stepped it up a little bit. I was like, yeah, don't do that to me, motherfucker. Right. I'm a grown ass man. I'm fucking 6 foot tall. I'll fuck you up. So don't limp arm me right now. So I had to tell him. So yeah.
It's funny because you are 6 foot tall, but when you stand next to him, you're like, Jesus fucking Christ,
bro. Yeah.
How tall is that dude?
He's 6'10". Jesus
Christ.
6'10", man. Yeah, it was funny. You know, I was telling him like, how you're so coordinated on the court, and then you put some fucking gloves on, and you can't. What the fuck? Like 1, 2. Like we were just going like, come on.
It's a whole different thing, man.
Yeah, and then he had his management come up to me and tell me he doesn't want a knee or kick. And so, of course, we fucking need a kick because you can't tell me what you can't do.
Does he have fucked up knees or something?
Well, who knows? I have no idea. But he just and he didn't want to be embarrassed. Like when you do something that you're not good at,
right?
You don't want to do it in front of people, especially cameras, and you know. So he, no, we did it.
A lot of those guys have fucked up knees, right?
A lot of our guys have fucked up knees.
Yeah,
there it is.
Everybody has fucked up knees.
Look how big
man.
he is. Huge.
That's a giant dude. Yeah, if you could teach that guy how to kick, Jesus Christ.
Fucking knee. I mean, the dude can dunk over a car. So like jump. So a jump knee is fun.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Only imagine. But those guys, there's so much more money in the NBA, and you don't have to get your ass kicked.
Well, that's what I told him. I said, hey man, I need you to go to the NBA, and tell them you guys need enforcers like hockey. I'll be your man, you know what I'm saying? So you tell me, you go out there and say, yo, cowboy, fucking number 23 keeps hitting me in the ribs, you know, I don't like that. And I'll go out there and I'll just ice the fool right there on the middle of the court.
It is weird that hockey is the only sport where you're allowed to beat people up in the middle of the game.
Yeah, my buddy Scott Parker, I mean, he is the enforcer for the Colorado Avs. Well, he's retired now, but I mean, that was his job. So, you know, he would tell me he would like mentally had to prepare. Like him and I talk a lot about just the preparation of fighting and how he'd get game ready because he knew he was fighting whoever was the other enforcer, so he'd be ready. And it's cool like interacting with him in that sense. But yeah, they like promote it like, oh, you're messing with my goalie, or oh, so they send out the enforcer. Like
it's because it's Canadian.
What a cool job!
It's a great job.
Fuck, like Joe. Get him in here. Get him. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? How cool is this?
It's just funny that no other sport, I mean, any other sport, if you fight, you're not just ejected for the game. You're subject to penalties. You might get suspended. In hockey, it's a normal thing.
Yeah, I mean, if for instance, if Blake just hauled off and jump kneed someone's whole face off in the middle of the game, that would be huge, and then they'd be in big trouble.
Do you think it's because hockey, like, they're not that stable because you're on skates? Like, it takes a lot of fucking skate knowledge to be able to brawl while you're on skates. I can barely fucking stand on skates. I don't know how to ice skate.
No,
I'm terrible at it.
I did it about 2 years ago and thought I was cool. Tried to do the hockey stop, fucking cocked the edge, bam, assed out on the fucking ice. And that was the end of my hockey dream. So
yeah, I'm not a skater.
Fighting, yeah, I have no idea. So
well, I would imagine if you could teach a dude who's like a figure skater, teach him some like real good kicks, you could fuck somebody up. But you're not allowed to do that, right? You can't just like figure skate wheel kick someone's fucking head off.
Juggler done, yeah. No. I don't think they can raise either knee or anything. They can't bring the skates off.
Keep your feet down. What about a Superman punch? Wouldn't be effective. They wouldn't even know that you were throwing a kick.
Unless you came at him like Thor, Thor in the movie Troy, and just fucking iced him. You know what I mean? So like a trick. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it would have to be something no one expected.
It'd have to, yeah.
It is just weird that they don't have that in basketball. If basketball becomes less and less popular, maybe they would have to bring it in.
So, did you know in hockey, the enforcers can't wear a face mask?
Really?
They can only wear a helmet with no guard. It's like a penalty if they do.
That's interesting. Yeah. So that they can't take punishment. That makes sense.
Yeah,
so if one guy had it on and one guy didn't.
Exactly. So they can both not have it, but still they just grab and just throttle, punch through the plastic, and that's insane, right?
Yeah, it is kind of insane. Yeah, it's a fucked up job. But that's a weird gray area sport. But I think a lot of it is also because it's Canadian. Canada, they're just. There's more men up there.
All right,
it's like,
I'll give you that.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's like there's a lot of pussies in America. I mean, there's a lot of men in America.
A lot of pussies in America.
There's a lot of pussies. Yeah. And in Canada, I think fist fights are more a normal thing.
Like, think about if we were back pre-biblical and we were in a
pre-biblical.
Right?
Jesus.
Okay, I'm
gonna throw my head in there.
You're wrapping around with this, right? Pre-biblical.
Okay.
And all these pussies. You think how many women us alpha males would have? We would just go and I think I'm gonna take your girl and just beat his ass. And
the problem with that is you can never fucking sleep. Those days, man, like the Mongol days and shit. You never sleep. You would hear footsteps. And you're like, oh, fucking great. You look out your window. There's 1,000 dudes on horses coming over the hill.
Yeah, I wish a motherfucker would. I just.
But those wish I motherfucker would days, the Mongols, they're fucking just shooting arrows. No one has a gun. Right. They're fucking launching people on catapults. Those kind of fights take a long time.
So we don't have, maybe they just barely came with arrows. Swords definitely, but.
When did they figure out arrows? Like all those, the arrows are on the hieroglyphs, right? So that's like 2000 BC, at least. Because I think the pyramid is 2,500 BC. I think they dated that. So I think if you're talking about when was the invention of the fucking arrow, I should probably know this. I bow hunt. I should know this. But I have no idea. It was a long-ass time ago. I have no idea. It's a long-ass time ago. Yeah, they figured out a few things first, right? They figured out, spears, and then they figured out catapults, probably. That was probably next. Bows and arrows.
Trebuchet, right?
What is that?
Isn't that a catapult? Like a trebuchet?
Isn't that what it's called? A trebuchet?
Can you Google it? Trebuchet?
Trebuchet.
I'm saying it wrong.
No, that's it.
Trebuchet? That was a fucking quick Google.
That's not bad. Trebuchet. That's the original catapult.
You're fucking telling me I just scored?
Damn, son. Look at you.
Motherfucker, what?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's even spelled the way you pronounced it. It's perfect.
All loose-lipped like
trebuchet with a mouthful of skull. What do you got there? What is that stuff?
Copenhagen long cut, wintergreen.
Is that stuff dangerous for you? Is that bad for you?
Probably not any more dangerous than marijuana. I don't know.
Marijuana's not dangerous for you at all. How dare you, sir?
I don't feel like that is either.
But that stuff, doesn't that chew people's faces off and shit?
Probably
could. There's this one dude who shows up at little kids' schools to warn them of the dangers of chewing tobacco and is missing half his face. I remember that dude on TV. He had bone cancer in his face. I don't mean to freak you out.
No, you're not freaking me out. I'm going out with my boots on, baby. So.
Wow. So if it's face cancer from skull, you're good.
If face cancer from skull, I'm gonna call up Red Bull and tell them, hey, I'm gonna be the first guy to jump out of the astronaut thing you got there. I don't need to shoot. I'm just going in head first. So bring it on.
Jesus Christ.
That's my mentality though, Joey. If I got in a car accident and lost a leg or an arm, I'd tell them pull the plug right there. Shoot me. I'm done.
One leg.
Oh man, it'd be tough.
They got some good prosthetics now. A lot of these guys that come back from Iraq and Afghanistan, they do marathons now.
Poor little
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible though, isn't it?
It really is, man. But god damn, it'd be
You were real close. There's a couple. They sequenced the gene of the flatworm recently, and they're looking to try to figure out because flatworms can regenerate. Like you cut them in half, they become two completely different flatworms. I think they also have the same memories. Like if one flatworm knows where the food is, and you cut them in half, the both halves know where the food is. So it's very confusing to them because they're trying to figure out
What is that, memories, or is that just years of?
It's a good question. I think specifically what they know and the way they know it, they believe that it's a memory, some type of a memory, obviously a crude memory. But they think that they're going to be able to figure out within the next 100 years how to replace limbs, that you're going to be able to regenerate it the way a frog does or an alligator does.
Think about that in the next 100 years. Think about this iPhone 6 here in the next. I mean,
it's nothing. Yeah, it's a joke.
Do you remember the flip phone and the T9 texting?
You were so happy with it too.
You know,
back then.
Speaking of that, do you know? I mean, you have kids, so do you remember when you were 15, 16, you had to call like, "Hey, Mr. Rogan, is Sarah there? Can I talk?" 9 o'clock, phone off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those days are gone. Our kids will never have to.
Unless you
know
take
the
their
struggle.
phone.
Well,
You'd have to take their phone.
But do you even have a landline at home?
Yeah, I got a landline, but it's useless. Never use it.
Okay, so I mean, it's
most people are like that, right? I mean, you have a landline just like in case, but you know.
I have a landline because I live in the middle of nowhere, and that's the only way I can get internet. There's like a hamster that runs on a wheel, and ever fast he's running, it powers up my Wi-Fi, and it's terrible. I can't even play.
Do you have like one of those satellite internet connections?
It's
what it is?
a phone line.
No.
Oh, it's bad.
No, like
Yeah.
56K?
I
Like
don't
one of
even.
those things?
It's like.
You can't do anything better?
If I wanted to download a podcast, I'd have to start the download before I went to bed, and maybe by noon the next day it'll be done.
What?
Yeah, I got like 48-hour download movie time, so I got to really plan the movie I want for a flight.
Netflix is ridiculous to you.
Netflix? Shh. No. Cannot load a Netflix.
You know, they have satellite internet now.
Not where I live.
But you can get it all over the country.
Really?
Yeah. It's like just like DirecTV. They just point the dish at the satellite in the sky, and it's not fast as like fiber optic, but it's pretty fast.
I want to look into this.
Yeah, you got to get that.
What I got going on is pre-biblical.
Yeah, that sounds horrifying. You're living like a couple of decades ago.
Yeah, I am. It's
and there's nothing they can do. They can't lay wires or anything like that.
No, they don't have it out there in my area yet. I've tried. I'm gonna look into that satellite gig.
Where are you at now?
Edgewood, New Mexico, right on the backside of Santa Fe, Albuquerque.
And you're there because of Jackson's, because you could be close to Jackson's.
That's why. Well, I moved to Albuquerque to help Linda Garcia with the Roger Warta fight, and I never left. I literally called my grandma. Hi, Grandma. She's watching right now live, so I'll give a shout out to my grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
I literally showed up for Leonard for a week, and then Greg asked me to be his 55er, and I never left. I had a house in Colorado. My grandma took care of everything, brought all my stuff down, and just drove, would slowly come visit me and bring things down. I never went home.
Wow.
It was wild, yeah. So
why was that? You just liked it so much there?
Yeah, in Colorado, I was at the gyms, I was kind of the kid that no one would put a name on, no one would claim me, right? I was like,
really?
Oh man, it was a hard time, That's where the whole BMF ranch and me giving back to people came from, because I would drive here, go here, do this. No one would put their name on me. Like Dwayne, I would train with him, but he would never put his name on me. None of the gyms would claim me. I was a fuck up, and. It was weird. So when
was that what it was? Just you're young,
it was probably
crazy.
It was me, crazy, yeah,
And they were like, "This dude, I can't have this guy fighting for me."
Exactly. He's just he's a loose cannon. He's out of
Too
control.
crazy.
Too crazy. So I went on to Greg. He took me in, and at that time George and Keith Jardine and Rashad. It was like a family down there. It was crazy. It was all of them were so welcoming, and so I said, "This is it. This is where I'm gonna make my move." And so
so you trained there, but you also built this crazy ranch, Bad Motherfucker Ranch.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is pretty awesome.
I love
that you did that.
I love it.
So what made you decide to do that?
Well, I wanted a place where I could ride my four-wheeler, shoot my guns, and all that. So I looked at the city limits, and land that I got in Edgewood to buy in Colorado would have been out of control, outrageous. So I told my grandfather this is where I want to went. My grandfather said, done. I mean, on a phone call, my grandpa said, done. This is what you want? Got it. Drove down with cash in hand, bought me the property. Just
really?
Oh, man, it was
wow.
the greatest dude on the planet, man. So, and I started training there, and him and my grandma would come down, and you're going to get me fucking teary-eyed now, but, it was like a dream for me. And so now I'm rooted, and so...
Did you build out there? Was there a structure already there?
There was a house, right? And we extended the house, built the gym. Now I just built dorms, which if you're going to build anything, anyone listening, make sure you get your permits, because I, of course, didn't, because I'm a fucking idiot, loser, and wild. So I got a big red flag notice on my door, said, need to get your permits done. Got a picture here. You want to see it?
Yeah, I do want to see it. So what do they do? Does it delay you any further because of red flags?
It's a cease and desist. Don't.
Well, they don't want to. Oh, Jesus, that is a red flag. Yeah. Whoa.
So I had to jump through.
Notice to stop work.
Notice to stop work. Bam. So I had to jump the hoops. Go
hire somebody.
No, I didn't have to hire anyone. I had to spend all day. I had to go to the Santa Fe County and really get everything in line, show my plans, blah blah blah, pay the money, and basically get the ball rolling for the permits. I got it done now. So
there's places out here like if you want to build something in like Malibu near the ocean, it takes fucking years, and you got to go through all sorts of red tape, and there's corruption and nonsense you have to deal with.
Exactly. So I just built it, and I shouldn't have. I
have a buddy who lives in Topanga. He's under the Coastal Commission. And he just said, fuck it. If they catch me, they catch me. And he just did all this shit to his house. Spent a fuckload of money on his house and just got away with it.
Yeah.
You can get away with it.
You can. With the slippery.
You can also get busted.
You can also get busted.
With
then you
fucking
pay
wires
money.
hanging out of your wall, stop work.
That's it.
Get fined, and then never get permits for years.
So I tried to, let people learn from my mistakes. I'm kind of the trial by fire. That's kind of how I live my whole life.
So how many dorms did you build out there?
Well, as of right now, it's a glorified horse stable. So there's no dorms being built
because of the work or stoppage.
Stoppage, yeah.
So you have to wait till you get a permit again.
Yeah. So now it's a horse stable because there is a horse stable underneath, giant horse stable, and then I built rooms that I'm probably going to paint in, hold my archery gear in. I got a whole bunch of beds that I need to store in a couple, and I got guys that come out that I'll probably store in some of those rooms with the beds.
Do you think that this is what's going to be your transition after you're done fighting, that you'll eventually just run a camp?
I don't know, Joe. I just, teaching to me, if you and I were doing something, I could show you something you had a problem with, but for me to come in and teach a class would be really hard. I don't know how that fucking even works like that, but that's how.
What would be hard about it?
Maybe getting a curriculum or having something that I thought out, okay, I'm gonna teach this, this, and this today. I don't know.
I see what you're saying. So, maybe if you had somebody that kind of organized it for you, and you just came in or have guys like Henry or someone who's a coach already.
Yeah.
Work with them, like Winklejohn and Jackson work together.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I have a great, Jafari and Super D Wrestling, one of my great friends and coaches. He lives out there with me, helps me, he trains all the guys, and we got Henry training with the Thai guys. So we have a good good stable of coaching, and just bringing guys in, man. Like I said earlier, I didn't know how any direction. So now when people come, I want to be the guy. They ask me, "What do you do for sponsorship?" Well, now it's Reebok. We don't have a fucking choice. But before, I had to be like, "Hey, these guys were no go. They didn't pay. They didn't do this." Just experiences I've had through my career. And what do you do for cutting weight? What do you do for this? What do you do for that? It's just cool to be able to answer all the questions for the up and coming guys.
Yeah. It's got to be a cool thing to be able to help guys in a way that you wish somebody had helped you, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's there's a real an area in the beginning of a fighter's career, especially, where they don't feel legitimate. And sometimes a guy like you taking him in and saying, "Hey, man," like what you're doing with Felder,
right?
A guy who's a real talented guy,
very talented,
real tough
kid, yes.
guy. You take him in, and then boom, all of a sudden he's legit as fuck. Yeah, and that's what everybody's saying too. Is everybody's saying, "Oh, he trains with Donald." Oh,
right.
Shit. Okay.
That's kind of exactly like that. And there's a lot of guys that come that. When you come, I want to be able to put my name on you. You know what I mean? So work with you, train with you, have the coaches work with you. Because when you say that you're from our stable, that's what I want it to be. A legit person.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you hook up with Henry Smith?
Through Baltimore, man. We just kind of crossed paths years ago. And
where did you get the name Rude Boy? What's that? Rude Boy Muay Thai?
I wish I had an answer for that, but I don't. I don't know. I don't have.
I like that dude though. He's a great coach too.
Sure,
Very
absolutely.
Calm and smooth in the corner. You could tell a lot about a guy and how he gives instruction in the corner.
Absolutely.
He's calm and smooth. He's like, "Can I please get this? Can I please get that? Thank you very much." But he also is very technical. He's real technical in his instruction. As a guy who watches a lot of fights, nothing drives me crazier than when someone doesn't have advice. And they're like, "Go get him, go kick his ass."
That'd be me cornering Leonard. Fuck him up, Leonard.
But for Leonard, you in the corner, that is kind of technical advice. Leonard's one of my all-time favorite guys to watch.
God damn it.
God damn,
he's
that
a
dude
dying
fought
breed,
wild.
man. The fighter, a dying breed. And
yeah.
When Leonard was at his, talking about retirement with me and everything, he's like, man, I just wish I could get a fight where someone would just stand there and fucking throw down with me. And I'm like, Leonard, brother, those days are gone. These guys are going to come in and take you down. He's like, yeah, but no, I think this guy's going to stand. I'm like, no, Leonard, he's going to take you down, you know? So that we'd have to go back and forth that. Then the kid would take him down, you know, because he hates wrestling and practicing wrestling. But that's where the sport's going, you know? So
well, the sport's going in this method that, like, in order, or this place where in order to win, you got to be able to do everything and be totally unpredictable, and you got to be able to fight smart and not put yourself in danger. And Leonard was all about just throwing himself into danger.
Peeling the stickers off the mats with the punches. Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he would throw it from the back of his calf.
Oh, I loved it. I mean, but those are the fights the Jens Pulver and Leonard Garcia fight.
Yeah.
Man.
Wild.
Right?
Oh, Leonard had a bunch of wild ones.
So,
he had a bunch of, like, when it was over, you just, like, shaking your head like, God, what did I just see?
So the craziest thing, man, when I had that incident at Whole Foods, I don't know if you heard about it or not, when I got punched. Leonard was
somebody punched you, what, in the parking lot or something
all
like
right,
that?
so I'll get it out now so everyone, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm walking across, texting on my phone, and a guy lays on the horn. And my girl's like, who is that? And I look up, I don't know. She's like, you don't know him? I said, no. We walk to the car goes and parks like 3 spots down. And the dude gets up, he's like, what's up, motherfucker? And I was like, me? You're talking to me? And he's like, yeah, bitch. And I was like, okay, and then just smoked me in my eye, blew my glasses on the floor. Now, mind you, I'm still in trial for the boat rage incident thing that's going on.
Yeah, the boat one was you head kicked some dude, right?
Allegedly.
Some dude got...
I'll get to that story after the story. Okay. So anyways, so my girl looks at me and burning fucking fire is raging out of my ears, right? And she goes, no, right? So I tell this dude, like anybody would, today's your lucky day. The dude's like, oh yeah, motherfucker, I bet, right? And then he hawks up again to hit me again. I said, motherfucker, if you touch me again, I'm gonna kill you. Like I can't take two. I cannot take two.
Right.
Well, Leonard's there, right? And so Leonard goes to hit this dude, and then but he's like all Bible good, doesn't cuss, and he's like, frick you, you know what I mean? Like,
no.
yeah, man, he's like on this new,
you.
oh, bro. He's like on this new, so.
Boy, the fucking guy get lucky. That guy got so lucky, he probably thinks he's such a badass.
And we just literally got done training. So we're in like training gear.
Right.
We went to Whole Foods, get some shit to drink. And so he's like, you want to be UFC fighters? What the blah, 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 blah. I was like,
so
oh
hilarious.
my God, man. So, I just got my car and drove away. And
you don't know who that guy is?
I have no clue.
Whoever you are, bitch.
Whoever you are,
you
bitch.
got lucky as fuck.
That was your lucky day. All right, so anyways, boat rage. Okay, boat rage. This is what happened. We're up at Grand Lake. The reason I go to Grand Lake is it's freezing cold. No one goes to Grand Lake to wakeboard because it's cold. People don't like cold water.
Where's Grand Lake?
Colorado, up in the mountains. Fucking super deep, freezing cold lake, but the water's beautiful. So this guy lived there. He's seen my boat, and he told in the police station he's seen us there the week before, and he called it massaging and making love to my boat because it's an expensive boat. I fucking take care of it, wax it, make sure it's clean, And
he's upset that you take care of your boat.
I guess that's what the police report said. So he, my buddy Mikey's fishing off the back of his boat, off the back of my boat. The guy comes in, woo, having fun playing. He has like a Ski-Doo jet ski boat, and he comes feet away and like sprays water up on Mikey, washes my boat up onto the rocks. Now I got Cody Donovan at the time was fighting in the UFC, and 3 or 4 other fighters, 9 of us. There was 9 of us who were camping out for the weekend, and Cody's irate, like, fuck, let's go get him. The girls settle us down, we don't, right? So later on, about an hour and a half later, we go out and go wakeboarding. Well, with my boat, you got to fill the ballast tanks up, so you have to like kind of sit idle and let the tanks fill. So while we're sitting there idle and the tanks fill, he's down in the area, so we're like sitting there letting the tanks fill. He's like flexing his muscles from the shore, saying, "Which one of you pussies want something, bro?" Out of control. So he gets in his boat and he comes flying up next to my boat, completely lets go of his steering wheel and runs to the front of his boat, and his boat just goes bink and hits my boat. And I'm like, "Oh my God, dude, what the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "Which one of you pussies want some shit?"
And my God.
We were like, what? So everyone bickering starts happening, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, the dude says, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to run my boat into your boat. He's like wasted drunk. Tears off, flips a bitch, and comes beadlining for my boat. Now, had this not been the situation we were in, I would have congratulated this dude for the most epic fucking water spray I have ever seen thrown into another person's boat, because at the last second he cuts and throws the most massive wave that just drenches everyone's phone and just like hits you like a tidal wave. And I was fucking pissed. So I drive the boat to the shore and I get off the boat and I run about 200 yards down the shore trying to get him to come to me. Because my girl stood up and she's like, "That's fucking it," and that's all I had to hear. When she stood up and she's like, "That's it, that's it." You know what I'm saying? That was it. That was it. That's all I needed to know. Okay, that's it. So I try to get this dude to run to me. He does not. He comes straight from my girl, gets off his boat, pointing his finger at her. So I just walk right past, step in front of him. I just front teep him in his stomach, like set him down in the sand, like chill the fuck out. A lot of crazy gorilla pounding this dude in the sand is going through my mind.
Right.
I was training myself, and the dude gets up and tries to hit me with the old sneaker right hand.
Oh, God.
So I just slip, and I head kick him lightly, Joe. When I say lightly, it was very lightly, like just like a
right.
Boom, and sit him down. And I'm like, "You motherfucker," don't even know what the fuck I said. He won't get up. Dude won't get up now. So I literally sit down right next to him, like, "You fucking," I don't know what to do, and I want to just rip this dude's heart out, right?
Right.
So I just start backhanding him, like, bah, bah.
While you're sitting next to him?
While he's sitting next to him, like shoulder to shoulder.
What a weird scene.
What a weird dude. It was, and that's the only thing I can, in the fit of rage, I can think to do. Like, bah. So Cody grabs me, like, enough's enough. And as soon as I do that, the kid rolls over, takes out his phone, takes a picture of me, takes a picture of my boat.
Oh, God.
And he dials 911. And I was like, "Good. Call 911, you fucking idiot." So the dude calls 911. Cops show up. I said, "Yeah, this dude's drunk." He says, "Man, I'm only drunk because this dude embarrassed me in front of all of my friends, so I had a drink to get over what had just happened."
What?
Yeah.
How did you embarrass him? By cleaning your boat?
Oh, no, because I head kicked him in front of his friends.
Oh, but before that, the massaging and
dude. So he had a lot of people with him. He had like a big camp group. So we go to court, we fight. This is like a 2-year process I'm going through. All the guys that he's with are their police statements match mine. That he was talking about us all day, 2 weeks. He'd been chasing us down. He wanted a piece of it. So, I mean, it all got dropped and dismissed. But he tried to come after me for $50,000, and it was just unbelievable.
What's amazing how nice you were about it.
Yeah,
a little front kick to the chest and a little baby head kick.
Yeah, exactly. And what I just told you there is the same story his people told. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. I didn't just haul off and beat him down, which I think I'm maturing in my.
You are maturing.
I am.
I mean, meaning to tell you that. It's just amazing how people will try to sue over things like that. Like that becomes like the lottery to them.
Yeah.
Do you know the 2 guys sued the UFC? Like people always ask, like, "Hey man, can you take a picture choking me?" Like the UFC doesn't want anybody choking anybody in pictures.
I've been told that, so I tell them no.
Chuck Liddell and Matt Hughes were both sued. The Matt Hughes story is kind of hilarious because the guy asked Matt Hughes to put him in a rear naked choke for a picture. So Matt Hughes does, and then the guy says, "Hey, look, I got evidence. This guy choked me and he hurt me." So he tries to sue. Well, they do an investigation on the guy and find out the guy's a cop.
Right.
And then they dig deeper and find out he's a dirty cop. And the dude winds up getting popped and goes to jail because of that. And the Chuck Liddell one, I'm pretty sure Chuck had to wind up paying something.
Well,
Chuck was one of the first
times.
ones.
3 times.
3 times.
3 times I've been sued. So,
damn.
Yeah, my neighbor sued me.
For what?
He said that my dogs attacked his horse.
Did they?
No, absolutely not. Somebody else's dog did, but I was his neighbor, so he said mine. The guy just moved in, and his horse ran through the fence. Well, if you're any kind of a horse owner at all, you can't just move into somewhere and take the reins off your horse and let him go. We have no idea what the perimeter. You need to take your horse out and walk the perimeter. He lets his horse. The horse runs through the fence. He said my dogs chased him through the fence. It was cheaper for me just to pay the guy off than to go to court and fight it.
Oh.
So it's just unbelievable, man. It is
that kind of shit drives me fucking crazy.
My old roommate, me and Leonard Garcia used to live in, we'd have guys come down for training camp. This lady got us good, man. When I bought this new house, we moved in. She then sued us that we were subleasing our rent out to our training partners.
What?
Yeah, $12,000 I had to pay her.
What?
$12,000.
What does she give a fuck? I don't understand it.
She must have been hurting for money.
So she was your she owned the house at one point in
Did
time?
you know who Ricky, who used to work for Jackson's, Gray Jackson's guy?
I probably would if I saw him.
Yeah, anyway, so the lady's hurting for money, right? She's renting us her house, the house she's living in. Ricky buys her house from her. I tell her, hey, we'll move out now so you can move back into your house because you're foreclosing. So we make this all work, right? I work with the lady. She's a realtor. I use her as my realtor to buy my ranch. That's how fucking crazy this gets, right? So I use her. We do this. As soon as we get every the paperwork done, she turns around and sues us for subleasing our rent out. And my grandma's on it. She can vouch for this.
Jesus
fucking crazy.
Christ.
Yeah, she said that the whole time we were there, we were having people come down the train and we were renting it out to them and making money off of her property.
Oh, Jesus.
And of course, I got the notices to go to court. Well, I don't show up to court, so they passed the ruling. And then, so had I went to court, I probably could have fought it, but I didn't. I was like, yeah, whatever.
But even if you do, it takes forever. The problem with those things is, it's like these, do you know what a patent troll is? Mm-mm. Patent trolls are they get patents on things. They buy patents, or they own patents, and then they'll sue like a company like Apple. Like they were going after podcasters for a while, and what they do is they went after Adam Carolla for something, some sort of patent, and they went after a few other people. But Apple had to wind up paying like $7 million or something like that, because for Apple, they have so much fucking money. Yeah. It's easier for them to pay off a patent troll than it is to address it in court and spend all their resources. And they might, like the UFC is doing this, that antitrust lawsuit. They're like, this is going to cost them $100 million in legal fees. But it's either that or pay people off. They'd rather spend the money. They'd rather pay the legal fees.
Yeah. Well, because principle for them.
Yeah. Well, principle, and also sets a precedent.
Sure.
If you start paying out, then other people start coming out of the woodwork. But it's a weird world we live in where you could just sue over shit like that. Alpha brain, son.
Alpha brain, son.
Good for you. You got that big ass on it package, right?
God, I love it.
I love the picture you sent of you with the balancing the mace
20-pound
on your
mace.
chin.
That's it.
How'd you do that, man?
Well, the balance of the mace was good, but the holding the fucking kettlebell while doing it was suspect.
How the fuck did you pull that off?
Because I'm fucking super athletic alpha fucking pimp.
Okay, that's a good answer.
I mean, I don't know. And when we were at Elevate, which is a strength conditioning where you guys sent a whole bunch of those maces to, and they were like, "You're gonna fucking knock your teeth out," and I was like, "Well, then I'll be a toothless motherfucker, but let's do this."
You're constantly doing shit like that, right? Like you're constantly wakeboarding, jumping snowmobiles over the top of cliffs.
I can't wait. El Nino, baby. Come on. Colorado's going to be unreal this year. I cannot wait.
Everybody's hoping for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's real.
I hope so.
They keep saying that the way the temperature of the water, and California's like desperately hoping for it.
I was just surfing it with nothing this morning. It was great.
It's warm as fuck.
Warm, super warm, yeah.
Well, they have yellowtail. They've had yellowtail all over the coast around Santa Monica and Malibu, which is, usually you got to go out to fucking Hawaii to get those.
Sure.
So they're pretty excited about it. People think that this is going to change, but, trying to guess what Mother Nature's going to do a few months from now.
Unless you do the Farmer's Almanac, then you could maybe key in a little bit.
How the fuck do those work?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
But they are damn sure on.
They're damn sure on, and what do they use? What kind of hocus pocus are they using to figure that out?
Maybe the Mayan calendar. I don't know.
That didn't work out, though. We're still here 3 years later. We're fine.
Here we are.
I was convinced, dude. Like way back in 2006, I was like December 21st, dude.
It's done.
2012. It's all done.
All done.
We're gonna.
So were you on the computers are gonna crash at 2000?
Oh yeah, I was hiding. Yeah, when 2000 came around, I was hiding. I stayed at home, stockpiled water, the whole deal. I was listening to Art Bell.
I need to start stockpiling water. I have stockpiled food. I need to do the water.
Why don't you have a well? You're out in the middle of nowhere.
But the problem is the wells suck. Wells suck.
Not that good? No? I had a well in Colorado, and it was really good.
Well, for you, but if you have 20 people come to your house and take showers, they can't keep up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to
and
bring...
then you water heaters and everything like that. You got to... Well, you're out there, like, are you on solar?
No, I wish. I need to be.
Yeah,
I'm on propane.
Solar. Oh, are you really?
So here's
you have like a giant fucking white tank, one of those things?
Three of them.
Fucking Christ.
And if some asshole comes and trains at my house and forgets to turn the heater off in the gym, $1,500 overnight.
Oh no!
And then I come in the house fucking ripping and roaring. Who the fuck? And everyone's like, wasn't me.
Of course.
Wasn't me.
$1,500 to keep the
propane,
especially in the winter, right?
And the funny thing is the propane company's like, oh, you don't want to pay? We won't bring any more propane. We don't give a shit.
Oh god!
So you have to. You got to keep warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Fuck that, dude. You should have a fireplace in that gym.
Right. Who's gonna stoke it? Like today you're the stalker. Go split the wood and stock the fireplace.
Do you have wood out there? Do you have
Absolutely.
like forest?
No forest. We got cacti.
Cacti? Can you cook cacti in a fucking? Not really,
no,
right?
But I goddamn wonder if you can get some peyote out of it. I don't know.
Well, you'd have to have a very specific
because
cactus.
we are
San Pedro.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
You'd
San
know.
Pedro
I have no
cactus.
idea. But we're in that's where they do it in Young Guns.
Oh yeah. Well, not only that.
Tent Rock, where they film. You're in the Spirit Road, asshole. That's miles down the road from me.
That is where.
Yeah. Tent Rock.
Yeah, that's where they. There's only they only were doing that for the last couple hundred years. Like everybody thinks that was like thousands of years old. No evidence. No evidence that the Native Americans were using peyote more than a couple hundred years. But
how do they? Okay, marijuana, peyote.
Okay.
What are they like? Let's just smoke this shit up. How does that? Who's the guinea pig on that?
It's a good question.
Like peyote, like let's just boil some cactus and oops, now I'm fucking tripping. So that was cool.
This is a real good question. There's a lot of those things out there that like, how the fuck did they ever figure that out? Like
meth, like battery acid and like cool. Let's fucking
Tylenol
smoke
and
this.
shit.
Yeah, gross.
Get cold medicine.
All you meth users out there, ixnay boys, yucky.
Well, there's very few good cooks. That's why Breaking Bad made a lot of sense. You need a real fucking chemist.
You need a chemist.
But like the ayahuasca one is a crazy one. They've been using that for like 10,000 years. You got to take the leaves of one plant and
is that what Aubrey, your buddy, does?
Yeah. And they boil it down. It's DMT in a drinkable form because otherwise DMT, the only way you could take it is you have to.
I've experienced DMT in real life.
Yeah.
When I had my accident. When my guts were hanging out of me, I remember.
What happened with your guts?
So that's where I got this giant scar.
What is that?
I wrecked a 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
And broke all my ribs. And anyways, I was in the hospital. Took the Flight for Life to the hospital, and I remember laying in the gurney. They had me strapped down because I was a fucking lunatic. And I remember tipping the gurney over, and I had to throw up. And I threw up blood all over this poor nurse. And she did this little weird, oh God, I just got blood thrown up on me action. Whoa. And then I remember they set me back up and it was like the most peaceful feeling of like everything was just okay. Like no pain. Fucking like dying was okay. As stupid as that sounds and crazy, like it was just okay. I felt the best I've ever felt in my life.
Wow.
It was like supernatural, man. It was crazy. Like I was in so much pain. Like so I'm in the goddamn ambulance. They're taking me, and there's a new guy in there. So my lungs are punctured. So they have this huge needle. And the guy's telling the other guy how to fucking, because I guess you puncture your lung and then your air comes back, right? And the guy's like walking the new guy through. And I was like, fuck no. Well, I'm like, I can't really say fuck no, but yeah, I was like, no, you do it.
Right. Yeah. Don't get the new guy to work on my lungs.
Not today, motherfucker. So, but I tipped the gurney over, so much pain, and they write me back up, and everything was just okay. It went like this crystally blue haze, and I woke up like 2 weeks later, strangling my grandma.
2 weeks later, so you were in a coma?
Yeah, well, it was like a medical induced. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe
Jesus.
not 2 weeks.
How old were you when this happened?
It was 2006, June something of 2006. My grandma was. Yeah, and I remember.
So you were already fighting in the WEC at this time, were you? When did you start fighting?
No, I was
2009.
So talk about me doing crazy shit that I probably shouldn't because I get hurt and I don't want to be able to fight. I did this giant kickboxing thing, won a world title, and I won a spot to go fight in front of the king of Thailand. And I was supposed to leave that weekend. That I went out racing motocross and
wow.
So missed that fucking boat, but hey.
Well, that boat is not very. There's not a lot of money in fighting for the king of Thailand anyway.
No, but I mean, so the kickball. The only reason I got into fighting was because it was like my favorite thing to do, and the whole world still is. But I would just see the world. They'd call me, and I was the guy they would call. Everyone talks about taking short notice fights. Like, Calby, you're crazy. Like, man, I used to take fights on 3 days' notice. I'm taking them on 4 weeks now. I'm fucking good. So they'd call me. I was their guy. They'd call and be like, hey, we need you in Japan. it's Wednesday. We need you there Saturday. And I'm like, cool, let's go. And I'd go, and fucking me and my buddy Mike Baldwin, who's like my best friend still to this day, who comes to every one of my fights, would get off the plane, hit Roppongi. I don't know if Roppongi is like, the party. And I remember sometimes I was so hungover for weigh-ins that I'm like trying to like drink Gatorades and recoup my brain just to fucking
to weigh in,
just to square up, just to weigh in.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So and fighting, which is something I did to pay for my trip to go see the world.
Right.
So fun. Those days were. I mean, I still live them today. You know, fighting me. People make such a big deal of it. I see like Felder's a perfect example, man. They take it so serious. Fighting is not that serious.
Felder takes it too seriously.
Too serious, man. That's one thing I try and teach these guys. Like, man, you drink beer, you fucking alcoholic, you piece of shit. That's what I hear all the time. Yeah. So what? I drink beer. I like to drink beer. Cold, refreshing Budweiser. See that? You got that, man. I like to drink beer. I like to have a good time, but people they quit their life.
Right.
8 weeks. They're like, can't eat that, can't do this, can't go out.
Right.
I have this huge fight in my life. How is it the biggest fight of your life? I mean, it's the same like this Dos Anjos fight coming up January or December 19th, Orlando, Florida, world title. Biggest fight of my life. Goddamn right I'm going to drink beer and fucking have a good time and probably get there 10 days early and go wakeboarding. And go to Epcot. Oh, my God. Why not?
So you're just going to treat it like it's any other part of your life?
Yeah, because back in the day when I used to fight, it'd be on 2-3 days' notice. I had nothing to worry about. It's just a fight. I love it.
But would you worry about an incident happening, like the incident that kept you from going and fighting for the King of Thailand? I mean, that's the real. I mean, the big thing is to win the title, right? The most guys, when they get to your position, they kind of start playing it safe. That's the difference between you and a lot of these guys. Because a lot of guys are wild in the beginning.
Sure.
But then somewhere along the line, they start realizing the consequences and the stakes, and they start playing it safe.
Yeah, I just thought a play it safe kind of guy. Yeah, I could go wakeboarding the week of the fight and blow my knee out. Sure. I'll probably still fight.
With a blown knee.
Sure.
Just tape that bitch up.
Tape it up.
See what's up.
Just a couple shots of
Get
Jack,
a cortisone
get it going.
in there. A couple shots of Jack. I was thinking of cortisone. Well, there's all sorts of shit that they can do now to sort of help you a little bit short term.
Sure.
But blown out knees never a good time.
No. I mean, I've had a couple blown out knees. But
how many have you had any surgeries other than the stomach?
No surgeries. Thank
That's
God.
amazing.
Yeah. In fact, before my last fight, I was supposed to get an MRI on my knees, and I had an MRI on my chest because my fucking ribs were so separated, and I made it very crystal clear to the UFC, I will go get this MRI. But regardless of the outcome it comes, I'm still fighting. Is that okay with you guys? And and they said yes, so I was like, fine.
They wanted you to get an MRI,
Yeah,
or you wanted to get it?
They wanted me to.
They wanted you to get it.
So
you were complaining of some pain maybe, or you were realizing there was something wrong?
yeah, I had like my chest was super separated. Like I couldn't even take a break. Just pop, 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 like my solar plexus. So went to Dallas and I went and trained with some kids in a gym, and a dude threw a knee with no shin pad and just crushed me in my solar plex and like separated it bad. So
what fight was this for?
The Medeski fight. So
really,
yeah, the last fight.
Damn.
The one that was supposed to be with Khabib that he
Right.
pulled out for the third fucking time. So
that guy gets hurt a lot. His knees are all fucked up.
Fucked up.
Well, a lot of those guys that are fucking like Kane.
Right.
A lot of those fucking guys are super strong mentally, just ridiculously aggressive. Those guys wind up blowing shit out. Like Kane's blowing out his knee. He's blowing out his shoulder. Both shoulders had surgeries on them.
Fuck.
Yeah, that style of fighting, especially that intense grappling style.
Right.
Like, there's way less injuries in kickboxing and in stand-up striking. Like boxing. How many fucking fights get canceled in boxing? It's rare as fuck, right?
Very rare.
Very
yeah.
rare.
How many fights has Mayweather said, oh, I can't pull? Yeah.
Almost, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember a big fight ever. I mean, it would have to be something severe. And usually it's like during strength and conditioning training or something, you know, or running or something maybe.
Yeah, sure.
But it's very rare that someone pulls out of a box, or they'd have to break their hand or something like that. But it's rare.
Yeah.
But in MMA, god damn, it's common as fuck.
Well, there's so many weird scrambling situations that you get involved in, you know, you bring in guys to train with, and sometimes those guys...
That's the other thing, what you just said, the bringing in guys to train with. Man, I think that is one of the biggest mistakes that guys make, is that these young guys they bring into camp, they don't even know these guys.
Yeah.
These guys try to make a name. Look at
Well,
Aldo.
if you brought me in to train with you, Joe, I'm fucking you up. Like,
right? Yeah, you
that's,
want to.
That's my. I'm not gonna let you beat me down.
Especially if you're coming into a champ's camp or a guy who's a high level guy who's well respected.
Right.
They want to say, dude, Donald Cerrone came into blah blah blah's camp and fucked him up.
Yeah.
Oh shit, really?
Yep.
I mean, that's what happens.
So you
gotta have your friends.
You gotta have your friends.
A lot of guys do it the right way, like what you're doing at the Bad Motherfucker Ranch.
Right.
All those guys are family, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that. Speaking of family, like Felder, people are like, Cowboy, you want him to lose. Like, the fuck I do. What does him losing do to me?
You can't respond to those people.
God, they fucking. I live at 6 Calma Lane, Edgewood, New Mexico. Any of you motherfuckers want to come?
You can't get involved. What that is, you're opening yourself up to the retards of the world.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
And you know, at your stand-up, you talk about the people that comment on a YouTube video.
Yeah.
I feel the same when people say dumb shit to me. I'm like, you are a YouTube commenter.
Well, they could be children, you know. It could be, you know, young kids, or it could be morons.
I'll post a picture of something like surfing, and the people are like, Connor's gonna kill you. Well, bitch, first of all, he's a 45er. Okay, you know, I want to just get on there and say all kinds of shit, and it's just like, oh my God.
You got to pick who you communicate with. Like, say, look, like you and I know each other. This is Jamie. Jamie's a good dude.
Right.
If you want to have a conversation with Jamie, he's not going to say anything retarded, but he's right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Now, if we were just random people talking to you never know. You might run into a good dude like Jamie, or you might run into some complete fucking idiot that you would never talk to in real life.
God.
But in text, they all look the same. They all look the same. Yeah. It all looks the same. A guy can say some shit in a full sentence and, you know, and pretend that he has a point. God damn it, I'm going to start drinking too.
All right.
We're going to have to. I'm getting fired up
Are you cracking open a nice, cold, refreshing Budweiser?
I am Donald Cerrone, American Budweiser. I just don't think it's wise to communicate with people that are just insulting online. I don't ever go back and forth. I used to.
Do you know how
back in the day.
many? Why do you drink that fucking piss water, disgusting beer?
That's good
comments
beer.
I get.
It's not bad.
I said
Budweiser's not bad. People are assholes.
And then I reach back and be like, oh yeah. They pay me every month to drink that fucking ice cold Budweiser.
I like Budweiser.
So I love it.
I like all kinds of different beers.
I used to be a Bud Light guy, but now I'm a Bud
That's
Heavy.
ridiculous.
I'm a Bud Heavy.
I'm more of a Bud Heavy guy, but I like a Sam Adams.
Oh, yeah.
I like a Guinness. I like a dark beer, but I like a Budweiser too. It's like I like water, and occasionally I like whiskey.
So you talk about Guinness, dark beer. You ever heard of Snake Bite?
Snake Bite?
Yeah.
No.
So Snake Bite is Guinness, half Guinness, and then half like an apple lager.
Oh, really? Oh, that's nice.
Snake Bite, baby.
No, what's that shit that we drink? Black Butte Porter? Mm-hmm. That shit's good. We got this dark beer, this dark black. Who makes that? Black Butte? Who's the company that makes that?
Google.
It's like the shoes.
Yeah. Deschutes Brewery.
How awesome is Google now? Because no one can
Amazing.
bullshit. You could have told me 20 years ago you're the best wrestler in the world, and I'm like, oh, you are?
I know.
Wow.
Right?
You won state 7 times in a row and took worlds? Whoa.
How many martial arts guys?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Actually, you've never even wrestled.
So how many martial arts guys were like that, though?
All the one that wore the Rex Kondo fucking badass pants.
The Rex Kondo, the fucking American flag pants? American flag pants are the shit. Yeah, it used to be there was a bunch of guys that claimed to be in. Did you ever know who Rafael Torre is? You ever hear about that guy?
No.
He was a guy who's a writer for like one of those online magazines. I think Abu Dhabi News hired him, and he turned out to be a fake black belt and wound up killing the guy. Wound up killing, like, he was dating a girl, and she was married to some dude, killed the dude for the insurance money, got busted, the whole deal. Craziness, right? In jail now for murder. But before that, he was claiming to be a black belt, but he set off a bunch of alarms. Like, he would go off to Thailand to have these fucking no-holds-barred fights and come back, and I got him in a twister in the first round. And everybody was like, you just learned that, like, last week. Like, it was real weird, but one of the things he did that was hilarious is this dude claimed to be in a no-rules kumite in the woods. So he had his friend drop him off. He brought a big-ass duffel bag, right? Like this big. He had his friend drop him off. He's like, drop me off and come back again and get me in a couple days, right? So his friend drops him off. He goes off into the woods, and his friend comes back in a couple days, and now he's got a trophy. No more fucking duffel bag, but the trophy's the same size as the duffel bag. Dude comes back without a scratch on him.
It leaves the camping gear.
It's just, I mean, but that's the kind of shit that people did, you know. They were people who are retarded, they really would pretend that they were involved in these no holds barred contests, and they were 150-0.
Right.
Like, remember the early days, like Hicks and Gracie? They would say 400-0.
Sure, sure.
But you imagine if you had 400 fucking fights? God damn, you got to fight a lot. You have to fight like every couple days for years.
Sounds like my high school days.
You'd have to win all of them too.
That I did not.
Yeah, well, those are important. The losses are some of the most important ones, right? Those are the ones that really make you get back and fucking dig in.
That burn your soul.
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
To this day, are there any losses that just fucking, that when you get up in the morning you think about that one and it makes you just want to go running?
You know, more or less the guys that talk about the Diaz fight tell me all the time, Diaz will beat your ass. Diaz, Nick, the Diaz brothers have the most incredible following, almost as incredible as the Conor McGregor following. The Colts, it is unbelievable. So they just tell me all the time, you'll beat your ass again. Like, all right, well, bring his ass on because I'm ready, whatever.
Well, you fought Nate, right? And the Nate Diaz fight, like, it seemed like you were having a hard time in the first round. Like, you had a hard time getting started. Like, that was a fight where, like, that dude talked a lot of shit to you.
Your boy Callan.
And it seemed, is he contacting you?
He just said he's still there. I told him come crash this motherfucker.
Where is he?
I don't know.
Oh, he's texting you right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I was.
Like, you were emotionally.
I'm not making. He got in my head, and he got me. Yeah, absolutely. And that shit doesn't happen anymore. No, everyone tells me Connor's in your head, Dos Santos. No, the fuck.
So that was a lesson for you.
A super lesson, man. Yeah, don't. You mean? So let's take it back. You're talking about Rex Kondo, this guy, right? Oh, you see all the movies that people said, don't fight out of anger.
Right.
They say that for a reason. I mean,
yeah.
So when I fight out of anger, I mean, I was just. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I sucked that night, and that's all there is to it. No excuses. The motherfucker beat me.
Did you just get caught up in it? Like, caught up in the emotions of like all the shit he talked to you? He knocked your fucking hat off, dude.
Oh, God.
How dare he? Nate Diaz can talk some shit. I'll tell you what.
You know what? But as much as he talked, I like those guys.
I like them too.
I really
like
do.
them a
I
lot.
mean, because there is no front on them at all. They are what you see is what you like.
Yep.
If I were to run into the Diaz brothers out in the street, we are fucking throwing down.
Right.
And there's no question. I mean, that's just who they are. I mean, they're, so it's not like they put on this persona that they're big, tough. No.
Right.
That's who they are.
24/7.
24/7. And
yeah.
It's awesome to me. I think both of them. I got nothing but respect for both of them.
So when you guys are all retired, you'll have a drink together and be
Absolutely.
laughing about
I'd have
it.
a drink with them now. I don't have anything. I don't have like any animosity or any anger or hate towards either one of them. I would definitely hang out with both of them, And it sucks that fucking, Nick is in trouble with this whole marijuana thing.
This thing is awful. It's awful, and it just shows how bad the Nevada State Athletic Commission is. And they were angry because he took the fifth because he didn't want to talk about it. The fucking guy passed 2 World Anti-Doping Agency tests, 2 WADA tests that are blood tests. They're way more accurate than the fucking urine test that Nevada State Athletic Commission gave him with Quest Diagnostics, And nothing against Quest Diagnostics, but that method of testing is not as accurate.
Right.
So the dude was within the realm. I mean, he was legal. He passed. And they try to steal. They're stealing money from him, and they're suspending him for 5 years. They're a fucking kangaroo court. That's what they are.
5 years.
It's ridiculous.
At any job.
Yeah.
I mean, if I said, Joe, you're off the air for 5 years, you're fucking ruined, man.
Yeah.
That's 5. You're irrelevant after almost a year
People
in our
forget
sport.
about you.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
If you're not, I mean, he is one of the names in the sport, absolutely. But I mean, 5 years, he's getting older and older.
I think he's like 33 or 34. How old is Nick now? Hold on. I want to say he's 32 at least, right? So 5 years, he's fucking 37, and he's not doing any TRT. He's not doing shit.
Sure. God bless him, you know what I mean?
Yeah, God bless him. He's 32. Yeah, I was right. So 5 years from now, it's over, man. Like,
dude.
When we were kids, when a boxer like hit his 30s, you're like, oh, he's 32, 33.
Yeah.
It's almost over. We knew it was almost over.
Sure.
But then the age of TRT came along, especially with MMA. Things got real weird.
Sure.
Things got real strange. Like, you started to see guys like 36, 37, like Vitor, having the fucking fights of his career, the best fights ever. And these guys, the Diaz brothers, one thing you got to say about them is these fucking dudes take care of their bodies.
Yes.
They eat healthy as fuck. Nick's always eating all organic food. He eats real healthy. He's constantly in shape, constantly running. If this guy's smoking pot, he's not doing meth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
he's
yeah.
taking care of his body.
Absolutely.
It's not like he's doing steroids. It's not like he's doing something that's making him freakishly fast or ridiculously strong.
It's actually the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's the whole thing is it's so frustrating, man, that these clowns have any power over people like you.
Right.
It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy that people like you need these fools that have never been punched in the face, they've never been strangled, they've never fought a day in their life, and they're the ones that get to decide what happens to you. Well, they're the ones who get to tell Nick Diaz he has to sit out for 5 years.
Yeah, but they're the pencil pushers of America, man. They're the people that in high school didn't, I feel like those are the guys that now they have something to prove. Now he's high and mighty, and
maybe, but there's a lot of pencil pushers that are good dudes, or good women. It's not the problem. The problem is people in positions of power that are accustomed to that position of power, and then they treat it like they're a fucking king or a queen. They're tyrants.
Hey,
and that's what those people
my buddy
are.
Scar Parker,
Who is it?
Parks from the Avalanche said he's been in over 400 fights. He just texted me right now.
How dare he? How dare you?
That boy Parks.
Is that the hockey
enforcer?
Guy?
The
well,
enforcer.
He might actually have been
The
in 400
enforcer.
fights because those guys will fight all the time, right? He'll probably fight like 2-3 times a week. That's
Dude,
different.
He's huge. He's huge. He's my snowmobiling partner, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's El Nino's damn pump. So I don't know if you've ever ridden a snowmobile, but you get stuck in like 5-6 feet of powder, and now you're stuck.
Right.
That big old son of a bitch come over one hand and be like, "Rah," just rip me out. Like, go get it. And I'm in there digging me up for like an hour. And I'm like, you motherfucker, you big ass bitch. So, yeah, he's a good dude. Came down, helped me build the fucking ranch, man. He's a solid guy. Solid as it gets.
That's nice, man. It's good to have good friends.
Yes.
Especially ones that can lift a fucking snowmobile
With one hand.
up, pull it out.
Fucker.
That's the world of professional athletes is so short that it's even more frustrating when someone gets, like, if you're an accountant and they suspend you for 5 years, hey, you could always get a job doing something else, then 5 years from now you get reinstated as an accountant. But when you're an athlete, you got this short window. I think Nick started fighting when he was 18. So, he's 32 now. He's got a few years left at max.
Yeah.
Max.
Max.
It's conceivable that he could come back at 37, since he does take care of his body. Maybe it's
That's a tough
5
comeback.
years.
I mean,
it's a very tough comeback.
Financially, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Right.
You're accustomed to a lifestyle that you've been fighting. I am, at least.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I'm a super degenerate with my money. Everyone knows that. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So what if I were to if something happened to me today, I don't know what I'd do.
You would have to go on the road and start doing seminars, but because of your style and because of Nick's style, you guys are both really well loved. Like, if something like that happened with you, you could go do seminars and make a few grand every weekend.
Maybe not in Dublin. I'd have to go anywhere but
Not in Dublin. Once you guys fought, you could do it. If you and Connor fought and duked it out, had an epic contest, then you could do it,
I'm just a big stick in the mud.
Or if you beat him a couple times decisively, you'd have to beat him where they have to just give in. They'd have to say, all right, you had to beat him.
You beat him.
But if you fucking cut down to 145, you'd never touch him.
Fucking Connor.
Look, man, I appreciate the fuck out of what that guy's doing. He's getting eyes on the sport.
Yeah, he
Him
is.
and Ronda.
He really pisses me off. I feel like just telling him
Of
when
course.
he was in the fucking press conference, I wanted to rip him so bad.
Of course.
I wanted to kill him. I wanted to be like, you know what, Connor, you can blow me like a cup of hot soup, you son of a bitch. But
Blow me like a cup of hot soup. How does that work? You blow on the cup of hot soup? Is that what it is?
yeah.
Okay. But if he just blows you like that, that's why it's confusing. The vernacular is really odd. Like, blow job. I don't understand where that came from.
Right, fair
It's
enough.
very, blow me like a cup of hot soup. First time.
First time. There you go.
Yeah, I've never heard that one before. I've been around. Blow me like a cup of hot soup. But the fucking guy, look, what he said to Dos Anjos, that shit was hilarious.
Right.
Like, he's like, if you get a fight with me, you've made it.
Yeah.
You call your wife, honey, put on the fucking red panties. We made it. Come on. I appreciate the fuck out of that dude's shit. His shit-talking game is better than anybody.
It is.
He's the best ever.
Yeah.
And Nick Diaz is right because, like, what his antics inside the octagon, like Nick's antics inside the octagon, fuck with a lot of people's heads.
Sure.
Like, the first fight with Robbie Lawler, Like, I remember there was the first time I ever saw Nick talk shit. It was the first fight with Robbie Lawler. Robbie was dangerous. So
Very dangerous.
Nick took that shit talking to DEFCON 5. And he got into the octagon. And the first thing he does, he gets into the octagon. He looks over at Robbie. He goes, "Stockton, motherfucker, Stockton!" And he starts walking around, "Stockton, mother." And Robbie's like, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
What does that even mean? Yeah, exactly.
And then the entire time the fight is going on, like, "What, bitch? What you gonna do, bitch? What you gonna do, bitch?" And then he'd hit him. "Oh, bitch, I just stung you, bitch." And he'd be popping him. And every time, and Robbie Lawler didn't talk back to him, but you could clearly see he didn't anticipate that.
But I don't. And as far as Nick and Nate go, I don't know if that's like a game plan that's just like their real life.
That's just them, yeah.
Like, I think if they were on the street, they'd be like, "What,
Oh,
bitch,
yeah.
talk?" Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's like real
Yeah.
life talk. Like, that's
Yeah.
what they know.
But it's
like,
still
what, bitch? Like that's them. That's them being them. You know what I'm saying?
But it is still a psychological
Sure.
tactic. It's an excellent tactic.
And do you
Anderson Silva, it fucked Anderson Silva's
Sure.
head up, dude.
think some bitch laid out on the mat?
Yeah, he laid down like this.
You
he
gotta
was
love
bored,
him.
and he was
Yeah.
taking a nap, fighting the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in the history of the sport, and he lays down, and then he gets up with his hands down like, "What, bitch?
Yeah.
What, bitch?"
It's fucking.
And he didn't do any of that leading up to the fight, which was even more fucked up because I don't think Anderson expected it at all. And then when he was in there talking shit to him, you could see Anderson just like moving around and not doing anything, frozen, and
man.
thinking about like there's a great picture of it. What, bitch? And Anderson had never experienced that before.
Man, come on with it.
Anderson is the greatest psychological fall I've ever seen in my career. To witness him go from the guy who beat Stephan Bonner, who steps his back up against the cage, drops his hands, is like, "Come on, go ahead," and then moves out of the way, and then decides, "All right, now I'm gonna attack." Hits Bonner with a knee to the stomach, drops him, and then pounds him out and TKOs him, and then looks like a guy in the fucking Matrix.
Right.
I mean, and then to go from that confidence to the two Weidman fights, man, they did a number on him. They did a number on him like I've never seen before. It's fascinating to see. It's fascinating to see how a guy could be almost just unbeatable. And then Weidman after the second fight. I mean, you got to think about the second fight. Anderson broke his leg, right?
Sure.
Weidman didn't knock him out. He broke his leg. I mean, he had him hurt bad in
Absolutely.
that first round. But then after that fight, Weidman's like, "You know what? I don't want to fight him again. I want to hurt him." Like, whoa. Like, just for Anderson to hear that, it's got to be like, that's a mind fuck, man.
Well, and I mean, you're coming up. I mean, the mind is such a motherfucker. Like, if you could just get your mind to do what your heart wants to do, life would be so much easier.
Yeah.
I think. Like, there are so many times I'm in the cage, like,
Right.
right? And I don't know if my brain knew what my heart was trying to say, but that's what I wanted to do, you know?
Right.
And it's so, and then it's, fuck, bro, I can't even put words on it, you know? It's crazy.
Do you do any mental training? Do you do any meditating or any
Yeah, I
visualization?
drink fucking ice cold Budweiser, brother. What are you talking about? God damn it. No, a fucking fight is a fight, but I probably maybe should. I mean, but it's in this sport, it's not like that's what I was telling Blake Griffin today. Like, hey, man, you have a bad day, you fall back and let your team pick up slack.
Yeah.
I have a bad day, I'm the worst fighter in the world. My Twitter feed is just nothing but you pussy, you fucking die.
Well, there's a difference between a guy losing a basketball game, too, and getting shit on by the fans. All you have to do is stay offline for a couple days, you know, and you hit that three-pointer to win the game, and you're a fucking hero again.
Back up.
Yeah, you're back up.
Yeah.
But for a fighter, man, especially because fighting, like when a kid, or especially an idiot, looks at a fighter, they look at something that is so unattainable, they might as well be talking to a unicorn.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
They might as well be
absolutely.
talking to a god. They might as well be talking to someone who's not even real. So they feel like they can talk shit to you because you're not even real.
Did you say God and something real
Like you're not
in the
even
same
real.
sentence? I like it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You know, like you're Apollo. You're fucking Zeus or something. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
it's like
yeah.
you are not. They don't relate to you. And when they're writing this thing, they're sitting there, their fucking keyboard getting crazy.
Man.
I don't know what I just did. I think I might have deleted something.
So,
What happened?
I mean, the craziest thing about fighting is if you and I were to go out and fight right now, there's no emotion, there's no thought. It's just fucking get it.
Right.
But now, December 18th, I have this entire
big
time.
window to think
and the
about
problem, it's not the fight that bothers me. Nothing at all. And I think I speak maybe for all fighters. I don't know. I don't give a shit. But I got my grandma sitting ringside. I got all the people I meet along the way that, you know, I've met and I've interacted with, hung out, and in their mind, when they talk to people like, oh yeah, I'm going to Cowboys fight, he's gonna fuck this dude up. Like, you know what I mean? So like the precedent is so high. Like
the
winning,
pressure, right?
The pressure, unbelievable. So
do you
like,
talk to those people leading up to that fight? You know what you should do?
I don't even know if it's talking to them or if it's just
knowing they're there,
knowing that they're there, and knowing that they're. I mean, the pressure's unbelievable. So when you're in that fight, and they're like, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" And sometimes you're like, "Fuck no, I'm not ready." What are you talking? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not ready.
There's never gonna be a time when I'm ready for this.
No. I'm not sweating. I'm fucking. My heart's pounding in my chest, and they're like, "Bing," and you're like, "Oh shit, fake it till you make it," and it's time to you know, it's unbelievable, man. And you got to go out there and is he ready? Sometimes you look across at him and he's like, he doesn't look ready, but he hit me ready. You know what I mean? Like it's sometimes
right.
And some of those times when you're sitting in the corner, you look across and you're like, second, got him. Check. I can see it. I broke him. I got it. Sometimes you look across and you're like, I don't know. What is this dude going to come out really hard in the third? Like it's so it's crazy. Like the Eddie Alvarez fight, third round come out. He came out. I was like, oh, hey man, slow down. You know what I mean? Like, so it's there's so much mind shit that goes on. Like I said, if I can get my fucking mind to do what my heart wants to do, I feel like I can beat anyone in the world. But the problem is being ready on game day, man. It's so tough.
But listen to me. Why don't you do any mental preparation?
I tried to meet mental people. I don't fucking do anything. That's all hokey pokey. Fucking
hokey pokey. Turn yourself around.
Turn yourself
around. That's what it's all about.
Fucking, you know, I feel the mental game is so hard to grasp because, yeah, Henry Smith and Jafari are calling out what I should do.
Right.
I see what I should do.
Right.
But I don't do it. I'm like frozen.
Right.
I'm like a stick in the mud.
Right. But do you think that, like, okay, like when you're in the heart of battle, okay,
sure.
let me ask you this. When you're at your best, like let's say in a particularly impressive fight, like the Jim Miller fight.
Sure.
The Jim Miller fight, you were on fire. You look so dominant in that fight, and you look so focused, and your combinations, your distancing, everything was on point. When you're in that zone, right?
Right.
When you, like, right before you stopped him, what is in your mind? Are you empty? Are you blank? I mean, are you?
I'm gonna be a fucking 1,000% honest with you. I'm like a video game in a third person.
Right.
So I see myself from behind my head playing myself. That's the lunatic in my brain talking. But that's how I see the fights.
Right.
I don't see the fight, me fighting you. I see it from like a helicopter view above my fucking right shoulder.
Whoa.
And I see it like when I'm in the zone and I'm. So you know when I'm in the zone,
you're not emotional.
I step back and I like do this like little hop, and that like puts me like, then I like go behind and I'm fucking dialed in, and it's like ding ding, everything just flows.
Right.
And I see myself out of body. As crazy as that fucking sounds, right? From like a third party.
Well, I haven't heard it before from anybody else, but it doesn't sound crazy because I think what you're talking about is it's not you. Like you're outside of you.
Yeah.
So
I'm literally outside of me. It's like I'm telling that person what to do from an outside perspective.
So when you're at your best like that, would you say
like
that
the Dunham fight, the entire Dunham fight,
example,
the entire from bell to bell, the Dunham fight, I was outside. I mean, there wasn't a point. We touched. I remember clear as day seeing myself run across and touch gloves, and it was fucking on. Like,
what was the fight before the Dunham fight?
Dos Anjos.
So, do you think that because of the Dos Anjos loss, like you got more focused, more intense, and then came out in the Dunham fight, and you were just on fire?
I wish I had an answer for that. I don't know. I mean, I totally underestimated the Dos Anjos. It fucking will not happen again. Will not happen again.
He's gotten a lot better.
Good.
You know, that guy works hard.
Good.
I know he's your adversary and you're fighting him. But when you're at your best, would you say that you don't have any emotions at all?
Zero.
You're zero, right?
Zero at zero. Yeah.
And then when you're frustrated and you're in a bad place, you're battling your emotions, trying to calm them down, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like I'm like trying to find second gear.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know, it's like
the worst sound in the world.
You know what I mean? That's what it fucking feels like.
Right.
Like when I'm just like grinding, like go motherfucker. And you talk to yourself. Go, you fucking pussy, go.
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
that's what's like going through my mind. Like can't find it. I just can't find second gear. And
when you're in that place, it's the most frustrating, right?
The absolute most frustrating, man. There's nothing. I mean, it's like, what do you do?
Well, do you think that it's possible that through mental training and through specific techniques, you could get better at achieving that what you would call maybe like a flow state? The same way you got better at being a fighter. Like, think about your first days of fighting when you first learned Muay Thai. You know, you weren't like, I'll tell you when I first saw you. I first saw you when you were on the Tap Out show.
Sure.
Because I was like, who is this wild motherfucker hanging out with masks and Tim? He's throwing head kicks. But the cool thing about you, I thought you were the personification of an idea that Eddie Bravo and I both had. And that idea was, if you get a guy who's a really good kickboxer but also has a really good guard, they're fucking super dangerous.
Sure.
Because they're not worried about getting taken down. So they throw those kicks freely. So you won a lot of your early fights by submission off your back.
Correct. Because, well, for one, my wrestling was 0.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not like I was like, oh, just kick freely and defend it, and they just take me down. I mean,
but as fun as you were to watch back then, when I first watched you,
are you telling me I'm not fun now? Is that what's going on here?
No. You are a lot better now, right?
Sure.
You're a lot better now. So you got better at that. Do you think that you could get better the same way with your mind, with achieving
absolutely.
a flow? And don't you think that you should practice that though?
I should. I should. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that.
I think if you had a coach that could work through that with you.
So you talk about this mind, right? And there's been times when I've been hitting pads, and I fucking just go into
flow state. You're in the zone.
I go into it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, fucking. Boop, 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 boop.
I've seen you do it. I've seen videos of you doing it.
And then 2 days will go by and I don't see it.
Right.
3 days, a month.
Right. That's how it goes, though, right?
But then sometimes it's like, and it is like, it's like a drug, man.
I think that state exists in everything. I think singers experience it. I think all sorts of basketball players, all sorts of different athletes experience that state. And it's all about trying to find that state. That state exists in stand-up comedy. That state exists in, and I think in everything that's difficult to do, there's a time where you zone into it.
Zone in, man. Or zone out.
Yeah, whatever it is. But it only comes if you've dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's.
Right.
You have to have no worries at all about your preparation.
Oh, no. Yeah,
right?
That all has to be absolutely, yeah, and you're right. There can't be any fucking.
Do you think that drinking has any effect on your physical performance, or do you think that you do it at a level where you're not fucking with your endurance?
Well, that's the thing. I think people think that Cowboy just drinks fucking 12-pack a night, but that's
like,
not.
how many beers do you drink on a regular basis?
With dinner, a couple. If I'm out with friends, a couple. We'll put the 6-pack down. Maybe graduate to a 12-pack. I don't know, but we're engaging and having a good time.
Right. This is a rare moment.
Do I sit at home and drink alone? No, absolutely.
You're a
not.
social drinker.
Social drinker. I hang out with my friends. I'd have a couple beers. At dinner. But a lot of times, when you're training, you're sore. You come home. You roll.
Yep.
You're like, oh my god.
You want a beer? Yeah.
Dude, you put 2-3 beers down. You're like, fuck.
Tastes so much better. Yeah.
So much better.
Ice cold beer after training is one of the best. Actually, it's good for you too because there's something.
Say it's better than chocolate milk, right?
Well, it's up there as long as you don't have too much of it. There's like a point of diminishing returns.
That fucking note.
They say that like, I guess it's the hops or whatever it is, it can replenish the glycose in your body. You know who was a glycogen, whatever it is. You know who was a big believer in that? One of the best ever, Boss Rutan.
Right.
Boss Rutan never stopped drinking.
Sure.
He goes, hey, have a drink or two every night. Well, he did eventually because he sort of developed an issue.
Yeah.
Where, he was getting a little crazy with it. But when he was training, he would have a couple of beers at night, and he didn't stop having it.
I mean, sometimes I'll drink 2, 3, 4 nights in a row. Then I'll go where I won't have a beer for a week, 2 weeks. I don't know. So here, I'm going to tell you the problem with drinking.
Okay.
Are you ready for Cowboys' philosophy on drinking?
I've been ready forever.
All right. So me and you have a 6-pack. We roll over dinner. 6-pack leads to a 12-pack. Leads to us drinking shots. Leads to us staying out to 2 in the morning.
Right.
And what do you do at 2 in the morning? You chase pussy.
Right.
So now you fucking find a girl. You go home. She plays the I don't want to give you the pussy game until 6 a.m.
The I don't want to give you the pussy game. This sounds very rapey.
Right, yeah. So finally at 6, 7 a.m., you do your deed.
Right.
Now I got
Finally.
training at 9:30. I don't make it.
Right.
So that's where I feel alcohol.
Yes.
But if I have 4 or 5 beers, I go home, go to sleep. Is that going to affect my training tomorrow? I don't think so. Not at all.
As long as you have water, as you're not dehydrated, all that jazz.
Yeah.
Do you watch your diet?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, Floyd Mayweather ate burgers, 49-0.
Yeah, I mean, I eat whatever I want, I drink whatever I want, and that's my life, man.
So
I mean,
you never you don't have like a Dolce guy or something like that who monitors your.
a Dolce guy.
How dare you?
How
What's wrong with the Dolce guy?
you? No, nothing's wrong. It works great for Rhonda, apparently, but
Does works great for a lot of people, right?
No, I don't. I can't have you telling me if you said, Cowboy, don't
eat
drink
pizza.
that beer. You can't eat pizza.
The pizza's
Motherfucker, I'm gonna eat a whole
fucking
pizza.
delicious.
Yeah, I'm a fucking crazy. Hey, because pizza's like sex. Bad pizza or good pizza is still fucking pizza, brother.
But is there a way you could have like the best of both worlds? Is there a way that you could like figure out how to give your body the best fuel and maybe it'll give you a little slight edge?
On it.
That's going to help a little. Supplements will help. Vitamins will
I
help.
don't take supplements. How
You don't
crazy?
take any
No.
vitamins? Nothing?
Nothing.
How old are you now?
32.
Around 34.
And I could. I mean, my friends
35.
can definitely preach for me. I don't take shit.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No protein powders, nothing.
I use a little bit of medicinal marijuana on my fucking knee. The CBD oil.
You know what you should do with the knees? The fucking stem cell injections are incredible, man.
I,
What they're doing, Cormier had one. He was like that close to surgery. He had a stem cell injection in his knee and fixed him right up. Rhonda's apparently thinking about it. She had one of her judo coaches just had stem cells done in his knee.
So you're steering me away from medicinal marijuana.
No, I want you to do that too.
Both.
Do that too, but don't do it as much as Nick Diaz. Or if
No,
you,
I don't.
If you do it, refuse the urinalysis, the urine test.
No, I didn't. It was like a rub. Like I was in Colorado. I got a
Oh yeah, they have creams.
cream.
Yeah.
Is exactly what it was. It was like a cream, I think it was like a 50 to 1, 50 CBD percent to 1 THC.
I got some of that shit, but I'm scared of it.
Bro, I put it on my knee. I didn't feel. I mean, there wasn't
get
any.
high?
No, there wasn't. It was only like 1%, 150 to 1. So I didn't,
So it's all CBD and very little THC.
Correct.
Oh, I see. Oh,
and
yeah.
dude, a week of it, and my knee felt great.
Well, it's one of the
Unbelievable.
best anti-inflammatories known to man.
Unbelievable. So, and but I don't. I mean, I don't smoke weed. I don't shy on people that do. I don't give a fuck. You do whatever the hell people want. Make no difference to me. I just wish I could be unhigh. Have you ever been like I used to get high when I was a kid,
Right.
and I'd be like, "Fuck, I'm done being high. I wish I could be unhigh right now." Kind of like if you drink too much and you're spinning, you try to put your foot down on the floor. Like I wish
Right.
I could be unfucking drunk right now. Same kind
Right.
of deal. I wish
Well, it's like everything, a little bit of moderation is good.
Yeah.
Couple toots, just a little bit, hang out with the girlfriend, make a little kissy.
Yeah,
It's the
one
best.
of my good friends, Eric Bonenkamp, that's why he would smoke religiously every day. And
Yeah.
I used to lay hardwood floor. So I'd like, let me hit that thing. And the next thing you know, I'm over in the corner, fucked out of my mind. Like,
But that's
God,
the
I just want to
problem.
be unhigh right
you don't
now.
have a tolerance for it, and you're jumping right into the deep end of the pool. You need swimming lessons.
Right.
Okay?
I need
you
a
need to
little-
learn
I
how to
take a half
hold
puff.
your breath, breathe in, breathe out. There's a lot of shit that goes into that. You can't just. I've had a lot of friends who are like, let me see what the fuss is all about. And I'll go, okay, listen to me.
Yeah.
This shit right here, there's glass tips, okay? Smell this.
What?
Yeah. They use glass at the tip. Take a smell of that. Just smell it. Just smell it. See that? That's not to be fucked with.
No, you don't fuck
No,
with
that's
this?
not to be fucked with. You can smoke it, but you got to be fucking careful.
Yo, look at this. This looks like something that I would find down on Colfax in Colorado, like a crackhead.
Crackhead. Yeah. Well, you got to deal with the
If you
stigma.
handed me this, Joe, I'd be like, "Brr."
I know, right? Well, usually you use paper at the end of it, but glass is better than paper.
And it comes in a
it's
fucking
nice.
bitchin' little.
Yeah, a little
You gonna
vial.
spark that bitch up right now?
I will if you want me to. Do you want some of this?
No, I'm not gonna. No.
Okay.
No,
Well,
bro.
I'll have a little.
Yeah, watch. So vapor, Kush vapor. There it is, glass tip.
See, but I do this all the time. I wouldn't recommend a hit like that for a.
That'd floor me. That'd be done. That'd be
Yeah,
it.
no. It will confuse people. It makes you anxious and freak out, and it makes you confront all sorts of shit that you've been keeping in the back of your head. But I
Yeah.
confront that shit all the time. So this is my friend.
Okay.
So when I dig in on this.
So I mean, like I said, I don't smoke weed. I mean, I've done it, of course, and we did a backpacking trip with a couple of buddies of mine, and they brought weed. So of course I smoked it. You know,
backpacking and weed go hand to hand.
And I was in charge of the
vans and rape.
I was in charge of the GPS. So where we were going, I don't know, but it was 2 miles as the crow flies. Every fucking time they asked me where I was going, because we kept moving, but the spot we were going to stayed the same. So everywhere we went, it was. It says 2 miles as the crow flies. So
2 miles as the crow flies is such a fucking mountain term. People who have never hiked, they have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
But that's the idea, folks, is that if you go down and then up, well, the distance between those points straight as a crow would fly is like a mile. But you're going like a mile and a half, 2 miles, maybe 3. If you go all the way down and
you're still
up.
2 fucking miles. So every time I go, where are we at? I said it's 2 miles as the crow flies, and they'd be like, "You motherfucker!" So,
dude, I am amazed at how fucking tired hiking gets you.
Especially with
climbing,
a fucking 80-pack ruck on your back.
Yeah,
bro.
Dude, trust me. When you're especially in Colorado.
Yeah, well, we brought all our rock climbing gear with us. So we had probably 30, 40 pounds of climbing gear
30,
apiece.
40 pounds of gear, and you're dealing with altitude. Fuck, it's hard, man.
Because we're traditional climbers, so we set our own anchors. So,
oh, shit.
I mean, if you're going to do it, why not?
Well, I had this
If you got to make your sphincter fucking come all the way to a BB, right?
Is that what you do? You like to make your sphincter like really fucking clamp down? That's the thing,
That's
right?
living. That's motherfucking. When you're hanging out by one finger and you go to set that bolt, and you don't know if you set it good enough because you're fatigued.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And you got to clip the rope.
Sweaty hands. Sweaty hands just hearing about this. I had this cat, Alex Honnold. You know who he is? He's one of the greatest free climbers in the world. You want to talk about setting your sphincter? This guy climbs shit that most people don't even want to climb. That's him
Just
sitting up there. He
break.
climbs shit with no ropes. And one time, he's halfway up the mountain when he realized that he forgot his fucking chalk. He didn't bring any powder. So he's halfway up the mountain. And I don't even like to do kettlebells without powder.
What do you do at that point? Just kind of give it a little...
He just kept going. He's an animal. I mean, this fucking kid. Look at what he's doing. Look at this. Look at this fucking
We call
angle.
that nowadays, you're pot fucking committed, right? When you're halfway, you don't just climb down.
No,
so his only option is, where's the commode at? I got to pee bad.
Oh, right out there. Go right out the door and take a leak.
Happens when you drink 4 fucking
I hear you, dude.
You gonna be all right without
Yes, I'll be right out. Fine without you. Donald is going to be fighting for the title in when is it? December in Orlando, Florida. And he's fighting Rafael Dos Anjos, the guy who beat Anthony Pettis, who is one of the baddest motherfuckers in the sport. So Dos Anjos is a beast. It's a really big fight, a really important fight, and it's a fight that, I mean, as much as he'll talk about how much he doesn't give a fuck and he's having a good time and everything like that, this is something he's been working towards for a long, long time. But like while he's peeing, I can just tell you this, like this is how this guy is all the time. Like he's not putting on a show. He's a great guy too. He's fun to hang out with, man. He's always like this. He's always friendly. He's always not like when you hear about him getting in fights with people, like the fact that he barely neck kicked that guy. If a lot of people said that, I'd be like, please, you fucking teed off on him. Like I would have probably teed off on him, but he really would like hit him nice.
Eddie Bravo and Ari Sheffield staring at me when I pee in there.
Ari Sheffield. Ari Shafir. That's my buddy Mike Maxwell made a bunch of
Sheffield, my bad.
Sheffield.
My girlfriend's last name is Sheffield, so that
oh, that's very different.
Yeah.
You think about Ari, you think about your girlfriend. Things got weird.
That got super fucking weird.
Yeah, my friend Mike made a bunch of different pictures of this is what Joey back there. We gotta revise the Joey. The Joey Diaz one didn't come out so good.
No, which one was he?
It's in the back.
Jeez.
It didn't work out. It needs to redo that.
So I just bought some new guns.
Yeah, I saw, man. So what is an integrally suppressed 300 Win Mag?
So that's where the suppressor is part of the barrel.
The suppressor, for people that don't know guns, is a silencer that makes it really quiet.
Sounds like a faggot farting.
Really?
All you hear is
nothing.
The bolt.
And I have a 300 Win Mag.
So you have a 300 Win Mag, right?
It's a motherfucker of a gun. It's got so much kick. So this has very little kick too, because it's
zero kick. So
That's
normally,
insane.
if you're people, they shoot and then double tap, bing, 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 right?
Right.
Now you can just whatever you want, man.
That's insane.
Insane. So we are supersonic rounds, right? Which is it breaks the sound barrier.
That's illegal in California, isn't it? This gun.
I'm sure.
Fuck,
everything's legal
bullshit.
in California. I have no idea. But so they make subsonic
ammo.
Subsonic ammo, right?
So you don't hear it.
Right. But we were shooting supersonic ammo out of it just to prove a point.
Wow.
All you could hear is the bolt. Clink, clink,
That's
clink.
insane.
Bro, insane. So the guy that came out to my house, it's Keystone Armory, plugging them right now. But
yeah, well, please do.
They would spit down the barrel because suppressors aren't made to get wet.
Fucking gun. How many rounds is that hold?
30.
Dude, my 300 Windbang is a bolt-action rifle. It holds
I have the same one, right?
Yeah.
So it's
great gun.
unbelievable. It is We were literally shooting it in my backyard, and the guys across the street, we called them over. They're like, "Dude, we thought you guys were just using your nail gun, building the house."
That's insane.
It's like clink, 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 clink. So they have 9mm, 45, and you can't. It sounds like a pellet gun.
You can't even possess them in California, which is really weird. You know, in Europe, hunting without a silencer is rude. Like they all have suppressors because they don't want to hurt people's ears. Like they don't it doesn't make sense that you can hunt with an archery setup which is totally silent.
You see that badass Talladega shirt I have? Have you ever been to Talladega?
Never been. Tell me about Talladega.
So fun.
Yeah?
Talladega and Daytona. If you guys are NASCAR fans, or if you're not, you need to go just experience the infield.
You know what I really
weirdness.
like watching? I like people turning left and then right. I like a lot of movement in my racing. I like that Formula One thing where they go around a lot.
Listen, Kevin Harvick is a dear friend of mine. Number 4 all day. And but
They're the best left turners on the planet.
Ever. Okay.
Nobody left
so
turns
let's
like
talk
them.
about this. We're going here, okay?
Okay.
So I show up to Michigan.
Michigan.
Kevin's racing. And I said, you know what? How fucking good? How good could it? I mean, how hard could it be? So I said, let's go to a go-kart race. I'll run with you. Right? So calls up the nearest go-kart track. So we'll be right there. We show up. I said, where's the fastest cart? And fucking badass Kevin says, which one's the slowest? This motherfucker was running laps around me in the fucking go-kart. And I'm a go-kart going motherfucker. That's how I feel. I feel like you're not going to beat me in a go-kart. And he did.
Very few people ever get to say, I'm a go-kart going motherfucker.
He'd pull over and wait for me to catch up and fucking catch me again. It's all about how they, when you're taking those corners and you hear, that means you're losing speed. He just
knows how to cut the lines.
It's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, I would imagine even to be just a guy who does NASCAR, you would have to be one of the top drivers in the world. The difference is that I appreciate the shit out of it.
And women, Danica.
Yeah. Oh,
I love her.
That's a chick doing it.
She's
hot too.
Yeah,
crazy.
hot.
It's like the
Crazy
Ronda
hot.
Rousey of racing.
Except for Ronda's not hot.
How dare you?
What?
How dare you?
I say it loudly and proudly.
Oh my goodness. You have higher standards than me, sir. I think she's hot as fuck. You don't think she's hot? I don't want to get into this.
We don't want to go there.
I like her too much.
All right, that's
but
fine.
when you watch Formula One racing,
do you feel like that you have a biased opinion when you're commentating because you like her so much?
I have a biased opinion towards you too.
Okay.
I do.
Next question.
I try to suppress it.
Next question.
Look, I try to suppress it, but part of being a commentator is Uriah Faber. I love that dude.
Right.
I think Uriah Faber is a cool motherfucker. I love talking to him.
Right.
When he fights, I have to put myself in a place where I don't think about that.
Sure.
When TJ fights, I have to put myself in a place where I don't think about it. I'll tell you what, I hate to tell you this, I love Conor.
Right.
I love that dude.
So my grandma always tells me she watches the fight and then she has to put it on mute and then she has to watch the real fight.
She doesn't like me?
No, she loves you. But she just likes to be no silence, and see the fight in its integrity.
She should. They should offer that. And
because Joe, are to the fans can weigh the scale.
I definitely
I don't know
can.
if you, yeah.
No, I know that. That's why it's important for me to. I try to be as objective about, but I also have to be honest.
Yeah.
If something's happening, and some guys, it hurts.
What you see sometimes the judges don't agree with. So sometimes the fans, you are heavy on the scale one side.
I could be, but
I'm pretty right on with you.
I probably am better at it than the judges.
Sure.
There's a real problem, and that's an arrogant thing to say.
The judges suck.
They're real bad.
Did you watch? You don't.
I don't think they're fans. This is
Bam
the
Bam Haley fight that just happened. Obviously.
I heard about it.
It sucked.
I heard about it.
Totally
Look,
sucked.
I'm not even remotely surprised. I have it recorded. I'm going to watch it.
Bam Bam.
It's on. You can watch it on Fight Pass.
Fight
right?
Pass, yeah. And Bam Bam won the fight, but
We've seen that, man. We saw that.
It happens all the time.
Fucking in Ramsey Nijim's last fight.
And I
it
believe
happens a lot.
with the Henderson and myself, first fight, I feel like I won. You know, the third fight that we just had, I don't fucking know, man. It could have, you know, that was.
I gotta honestly tell you, I thought he edged you.
So
I just thought he edged you. But it was a very close fight. You know, it wasn't a travesty.
Sure,
There's
that
been
was
some,
the mentally hardest fight I've ever had.
travesties.
Sure, and I'm not hiding it.
And
in fact,
look,
you know,
Benson is one of the fucking best on the planet, and you're one of the best on the planet. It was a great fight.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no doubt about it. It was a super high level, very entertaining fight.
And Benson's coming down to help me train for this fight.
That's awesome. I love that dude.
So do I.
He's got a great soul.
That's what he told me. He's like, hey, man,
he's a good
you got
person.
this one. They gave me the first one. Fucking go get it. That's what he said to me.
That's beautiful.
Right?
I'm glad he did that. You know, I'm biased towards a lot of guys. I'm biased towards Chad Mendez. I love that dude. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, but when they're fighting, damn, dude, I try to let all that shit slide away. I try to look at it as objectively as possible. So, like in the Ronda Betch Correa fight, if Betch beat the fuck out of Ronda in that fight, I would be calling it as if it was one of the most spectacular moments in MMA. Even though I'm a friend of Ronda's and a fan of hers.
How fucking badass did she look? That
God damn, she's good.
That was a Leonard Garcia Ronda fight.
Yeah. She just bit down in her mouthpiece and fucked that girl up.
Gave it.
And did it, like, flawlessly. That fucking right hand she hit her with and then tagged her with the left as she's going down. She's not winging shit. She's throwing perfect, clean technique.
Come on. Those were wingers. Those
it
were
was
fucking
a chaos
wingers.
fight, but she's throwing clean technique, man. For her, it's a winger. But the way she landed the right hand, then as the girl's going down, she hits it with the left. There's no wind up in that. That's bing.
Beep, bing.
And
Double
she's
tap.
only been fucking striking for a few years, man. It's a recent thing.
Because if it will, it will.
You know what, man? If you're one of those fucking people, like that girl's got that brain.
Yeah.
If you're one of those fucking people, she could be the best surfer. She'd find her way. You know, if Danica Patrick was the #1 NASCAR driver, she'd find a way to get in front of that bitch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
There's some people out there that just, like, that girl doesn't have any loser in her.
Sure.
She figures out a way to win.
Winning her whole life.
Her mother is a bad motherfucker too. Now, can you say that? A mother's a bad motherfucker, but I say that with all due respect.
Motherfucker is used as loosely as cunt is for Australian
or English.
English
is a term of endearment. He's a good cunt.
I was with these
awesome.
Fisher, he was just with me today, and that's all he says. You fucking cunt, you cheeky cunt.
You cheeky cunt.
You drive that RAM 350, you fucking cunt.
What's an RAM 350?
A Ram 3500. He don't know how.
I thought it was some kind of crazy.
Right? No, it's a Ram.
A Ram truck. They don't even have
RAM.
those over there. I have a buddy who lives in Australia.
Bro.
Is the biggest truck you can get is like a Toyota, like Tacoma.
These guys
or
are
a Tundra or something.
So we're at a bar in Vegas, and that's all they just tell these guys, "Hey, you cunts," and I'm like, if I would say, "Hey, you cunts," I'll get thrown out of the bar.
Well, worldly folks know that it's different.
He'd be like,
to them.
Hey, barmaid, bring more around, you cunt.
Oh.
And she would just, I mean, I don't know if she could understand him, and I was like, what is going on here?
Did you tell him that cunt is different for us civilized folk?
We absolutely had the time.
Here in the modern world. They're living in the 50s over there. It's like a John Wayne movie.
It is unbelievable.
I love Australia, man. I fucking love going there, too. I'm looking forward to Melbourne. I've never been to
Kyle
Melbourne.
Noak's fighting there.
Is he? Is he fighting that card?
Fighting at the ranch.
I like that dude.
Yes, Kyle Noak. Strong dude.
Kyle Noak, wasn't he a bodyguard to the crocodile hunter?
Yeah, he was.
Isn't that crazy?
We talk about it all the time. Absolutely. You want to know even a crazier fucking story? So Kyle Noak and Jonathan Webb just signed to the UFC, trained Jonathan, who at the ranch, came and trained Kyle for his fight the entire way. Kyle's opponent got pulled out, and they called Jonathan and had him take the fight.
Whoa.
So they trained for each other the entire fucking 8 weeks.
Oh, my God.
And then fought each other.
Jesus Christ. So they have to fight each other, or they did fight each other? Where'd they fight?
In Australia.
Who won that fight?
Kyle won.
Wow. Damn.
So,
that's hard, right?
And Jonathan looked spectacular, man. It was unbelievable. It was crazy. It was, for all of us, like, coaching and internal guys, it was like, what? But Kyle tells Jonathan, you idiot, if you don't take the fight. You know what I mean? They're giving you a fight in the UFC. All you want to do, so you stupid son of a bitch, take the fight.
Wow.
And that's... Have
you had that happen to you?
Other than Benson, I mean, I fought Melvin Gillard.
Yeah, oh, that's right. You trained with Melvin a
Many
long
years,
time,
yeah,
right?
very many years. So
There was some psychological warfare in that fight too.
sure.
Because you said that Melvin used to quit in training. You're like, I'm gonna make him quit again.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Psychological war.
Psychological
On your
war.
friend too, right?
On your friend.
Ooh.
Dog get dog. But the son of a bitch came out and whammered dammered me, didn't he?
Yeah, he
I was
was,
like,
was it
whoa,
left hook? Was
son
it
of
left
a bitch.
hook?
Where, hold up here.
Yeah. Was that the hardest time you ever been hit? I think you said in one of those UFC countdown things. That was the hardest time you ever been hit.
Other than Leonard training, yeah. I was one of
Leonard training? Jesus Christ.
the dude rock on a rope, you know, that's you, so other than that, but
Rock on a rope. That's hilarious.
rock on a rope.
For people who don't know what you're talking about, if you had a rock on the end of a rope and just swung it, that's the way Leonard throws punches. Rock on a rope.
A rock on a rope.
Wow.
So, I mean,
You know,
yeah,
there's
it was-
a great video where Connor, love him or hate him, is teaching when he's coaching this season, The Ultimate
Right.
Fighter, and they're doing these real specific drills. And he said a cool thing that I think John Kavanaugh says. He said, "This is upgrading your software without damaging your hardware." And there's two cool schools of thought, right?
Right.
There's that school of thought, like fight smart, train smart.
Sure.
And then there's a school of thought where you
Hard
ride
knocks.
jet skis over the top of cliffs the day before you fight. Oh, we made weight. Let's go fucking swim with sharks. You know, like, I mean, that's your school of thought. It's sort of a different school of thought.
Very much so. Yeah,
How hard training sessions are you having in camp? Are you guys going full out?
sure. I mean, some days not. It
Some
depends.
days not.
So I may wake up on a Tuesday like I'm not feeling it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll go fucking wakeboard.
You just decided not to train.
Yeah, I mean, I got all the guys, all my coaches right there, and they've been with me for so long that they just say, okay.
So, you know, a lot of people think that actually is a smart thing, that's active recovery.
If
that
I'm
you go
sore
do
and I'm
something.
tired, I'll call it. Today's
So-
not the day.
But you like to still do things, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, we go rock climbing, wakeboarding.
Right, but I
whatever.
mean, you think about that, like, so you're still working, you're still moving your body.
Right.
You're not taking a day and just sleeping.
Man, there's been I don't know how many days in my life that I've just done nothing but slept. Look at today's day. I got off the plane, went surfing, trained old boy, and now I'm here.
That's
Get home
just
at
your
midnight.
thing. You're just always moving.
Running and a gunning, baby.
I love it, man. I love it.
I mean, that's how I'm geared. And my friends have to take breaks. They tell me all the time, like, Cowboy, I got a week for you. After that, we got to tag team somebody else in because we can't keep this fucking pace. You're too much. You go. Like, there's days that I'll train, wakeboard all day and come back and train.
Wow.
You know? And just,
But you're enjoying it, so you're
Loving
getting a
it.
rush the whole time.
so the way I look at life right now is I'm retired now. Because when I quit making money and it's time to properly retire, I'm not going to have any money. So going to Fiji and go scuba diving is not, which scuba diving is my favorite thing. I'm going 400 feet.
All you need is a good financial advisor. All you need is someone who you trust to take care of your money and handle shit and make sure you always.
And say what?
Listen,
The goddamn money
just
that you.
if you can
have
just
you ever
stay
seen a hearse
being
with a
cowboy.
trailer hitch?
This is what I'm saying. If you
Have
can
you ever
just
seen
stay,
a hearse with a trailer
no.
hitch? All right.
But if you just stay being cowboy, we just need to figure out a way to get this out there. You don't ever have to work again a day in your life. When you're done
Probably.
fighting, you're not going to be broke. You just need the right guy to steer you. You're a fucking.
I got my grandma. She I
Then
call her all the time.
Maybe she's the gal.
She
Maybe
is.
Perfect.
I ask her what
You
I
don't
should do,
have
and
to
she
worry.
says, "Fucking ride it till the wheels burn off the motherfucker."
Just
And
need
I
to
say,
let
"All right."
people know you're out there. That's all you need to do. I mean, what you've got, what you are. I mean, I'm not blowing you.
I'm
but
retired
what
now.
you are is like what everybody wants out of their superheroes. What
I mean,
you
why
are is what
retire?
everybody wants
Why
out
retire
of their.
when I'm 50?
This
and
is
I'm
what-
old as fuck, and I can't wakeboard, but I'm trying.
When fans see a guy like that's what everybody wants. They want a guy who's just living like a fucking wild man and going in there. There's something appealing to that. There's something
It's called
appealing.
live a life like worth living.
But there's something appealing to the Spartan too, right? There's something appealing to the guy who's willing to not have sex, shut out all distractions, put a fucking poster on his wall, write down his goals. Some Dan Gable type dude who's just stoic and fucking never-ending and indomitable spirit, and this guy just doesn't do
And I ring
anything
his
bad
doorbell,
for his
"Ding
body.
dong. Hey, brother, you want to go fucking wakeboarding with me?" He's like, "Ah, man, I'm fucking in the zone." And I'm like, what's the zone we were talking about when you're behind? No, that's not today. That's in your fight. Let's go have some fun today. And they don't. And I said, well, all right, I'm going to go have some fun.
It's a balance, right? It's trying to figure out what's the best way to do it. What's the best way to do it? Because like Dan Gable I brought up.
Did you play football?
No, never played football. Steered away from that shit.
Okay, so you hear the guys that are still 35, 40 years old talking about that game that they had.
Yep.
I think that's what I search for every day. You know, like fighting is fucking, I love it. I get it 6 times a year if I'm lucky. And this year I get it 1 time. So I think that's why I do the things I do, because it gives me that feeling that I'm searching for, that scared, what am I doing, oh my God feeling.
Well, you like proving yourself and you like
Absolutely.
adventure. And those are 2 things that a lot of people shy away from.
I mean, if you
know,
competition, if you came right now and said you're a better bow hunter than me, I'd be able to set the motherfucking target up. Let's go. Let's do it. You know, that's just, I mean, so.
Well, that's also the only way you get good at anything.
True.
People shy away from that. There's only one way you surround yourself with bad motherfuckers who are doing exactly what you do, and you force yourself to keep up. And you all inspire each other.
That is the problem in this sport, because I see that in the gym all the time. You see the guys, sparring day comes or grappling day comes, you see all the guys finding the guy they know they can beat. They don't go after the guy that kills them.
Right.
Me, I want you, motherfucker.
Right.
I want
you want the toughest challenge.
Oh, you the baddest dude? Let's go. Fuck me up.
You want the one that's going to stir you up inside.
Yes, fucking burn me. Where you submit me 3 times in 5 minutes, not going to happen again. Because, you know what I mean? That's how I think. You fucking fuck me up.
Right.
I'm calling my coaches like, I just got fucked up.
Right.
Let's fix this problem.
Right.
So I want the guys that push me. I need those. I need that in my life.
Well, when you get to the level that you're at, too, you also realize that those guys that push you are the reason why you put in that extra effort that takes you to the top of your ability. And there's a few guys that we all know that never quite reach the top of their ability. Like you hear about them in the gym, they're fucking on fire. They just have... they have days where they're world beaters, and for whatever reason, they don't ever get it together in the moment of crisis.
The gym heroes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely. This sport is unbelievable, man. It's like you have to be able to go out there and fight at your best every single day,
and you have to execute under insane pressure. That's the most admirable quality about it. You know, like sometimes when I look around, like that was one of the craziest things about Ronda's fight. Was after she knocked out Betch Correa, she just strutted around the cage and looked up at everybody, just took it all in. She just strutted. She just face planted that chick on a Straight Outta Compton ad. Okay, I mean she really did.
Which the movie was fucking unbelievable.
I didn't see the movie.
You haven't seen the movie?
No, I didn't see the movie.
It's great.
I'm sure it's great.
It's great.
But the fact that she face planted her on that and then just walked around that moment. Like that moment, who the fuck understands that moment but her? Who are you? Or anybody who experiences it. You know, the moment where, you know, think of like the Edson Barboza fight, when you crack him with that jab and then take his back. Like that moment when he taps and you stand up and the whole crowd goes fucking apeshit because it was chaos up until that moment, right? He came out guns blazing, then you caught him with that jab, he went down, you got his back and strangled him. That moment, man, when you were in the fire.
In that moment, Barbosa says he blinks, but in that moment, about 20 seconds before that moment, I know I got him.
How'd you know?
Because he hit me with fucking everything he had in the kitchen sink, and when he unloaded, bing, 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 kicked me as hard as he could, and I just stood there, and he looked at his corner and was like, now what? I was like, gotcha. So
wow. So you saw a moment of thinking, a moment of contemplation.
I got it. Like, gotcha.
He's a talented motherfucker.
Super talented, absolutely.
That switch kick that he was hitting Paul Felder with was the fastest switch kick I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anybody throw it like that. Hard and fast, like Jesus fucking Christ.
Well,
Mark Henry and
Paul's
him.
a ginger, so it's showing a little bit more than
He could be a black dude. He could be black like Czech Congo. You would have been impressed by that kick. That kick was insane.
Right.
He's so fast, man. And his coach, Mark Henry, that's a guy who's like one of the most underappreciated guys in the sport.
And after the fight, they came and they said, man, we studied Paul to a T. We took this fight so serious, you know?
Dude, he's a wizard, that guy. He's an unsung, he's like a really quiet guy. He doesn't want a lot of attention. But I admire the fuck out of the way that guy coaches Frankie Edgar. The way that guy, like,
How about Connor and Frankie? I love Frankie.
Ooh, I love that.
Have you ever seen the guy when he goes, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you're cool, and fuck you"? That's what I feel like what happened at the press conference, because all he said to Frankie was, "You're welcome." That was it.
Yeah.
So I felt like the fuck you, you're cool, and fuck you. That's what would happen. That's because
Frankie,
the ability of level change that he puts with his box.
His
I love
pace
Frankie.
too.
I love Frankie.
Frankie will set a guy. You got to run an ultra marathon with him. You got to be willing to go to the depths of your ability. And there's a guy that fought at 55, undersized, and won the fucking title.
Always crazy.
Won the title, undersized. He was so much smaller than BJ, so much smaller than a lot of the guys he beat. Had those tough fights with Henderson. I mean, he's that fight with Cub Swanson, I was like, good Lord, that fucking pace he puts on people. He's taking it to the next level. When I talk about guys who put paces like that wrestlers break you pace,
right?
Nobody like Frankie right now in the sport. He's the epitome of that style of fighting. Maybe Weidman could show it too in some fights if he gets the right opponent.
How do you feel about the Weidman?
It's a crazy fight. Rockhold's a bad motherfucker. That's a crazy fight. Rockhold's jiu-jitsu is nasty, man. The way he controlled Lyoto Machida, I was impressed as fuck. I was like, Jesus Christ, his ground and pound, his control on the ground, he beat Lyoto Machida at every facet of the game. And that was impressive as fuck to me. That was a high-profile fight. It was a big fight. That impressed the fuck out of me. You know, I think it's a great fight. Weidman's a monster, man. What do you think? You're laughing.
No, Rockhold's a dear friend of mine, so I
love that dude.
I mean, he's out of Khabib's camp. Is the only.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I know.
I like him.
I know about all that.
Great dude. But
Khabib, you know, there's always going to be that thing going on between all you guys at the very top.
Sure.
You know?
Why not? Stir in the pot.
But again, like a guy like Khabib, you kind of need that motherfucker. That guy's he's like a tank of propane out there for you. You know, he's gonna heat that gym.
That's
you know what I mean?
He's gonna heat that gym.
That's the guy. Like, cause he's so fucking good. I mean, you look at the way he manhandled Dos Anjos. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Habib Nurmagomedov is a grappling motherfucker. His wrestling, as someone who like appreciates the guy's ability to impose his game plan,
sure,
he impresses the fuck out of me.
Absolutely.
That guy's a giant tank of propane for Cowboy.
That's it.
What a crazy way to make a living, man. You got all these tanks of propane out there. Anthony Pettis.
That's it.
He's another propane tank.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Anthony said, Cowboy, if you need me to come down and train you for Dos Anjos, I hate that motherfucker.
Really?
I'll be there.
Wow.
I said, Pettis, I might just hit you up on that.
Wow. That would be a good thing, man. He can give you some insight.
Absolutely.
I love that dude.
So do I. I mean, again, with Pettis, I got nothing bad. I really don't have anything bad to say about any of the guys up at the top, you know? It's just...
Well, you know what, man? Ultimately, outside of you guys competing against each other, you admire because you uniquely know what it takes to be in the position that an Anthony Pettis or a Rafael Dos Anjos or Nate Diaz or, you know, fill in the blank. All those guys, you uniquely know what it takes to be in. It's a very small fraternity.
Sure.
Of guys at the elite level. And your division, 155, is just chaos. Like, that whole division is like, look at it. It's just killer after killer after killer.
Right, absolutely.
Killers coming up. Fucking sharks just... That's what 155 is. Like someone throwing a goat in the water in South Africa and watching a fucking sea of sharks.
Get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see that you guys, you know, reasonably are friendly with each other.
Absolutely.
Considering. You know,
so what do you think about your boy, the Irish Muppet coming up to 155?
Conor McGregor?
Yeah. McNugget.
What did you say about him? About kicking the Lucky Charms out of his ass?
I said if he came up to 155, I'd bend him over and fucking knock the Lucky Charms out his ass.
I don't know how that works. It's like blowing on hot soup.
But you wouldn't believe the uproar of the Irish community I got from that.
Well,
and
I said, be silent? I'd be more shocked.
Sure.
What if they didn't respond? I'd be more nervous. I'd be like, was my joke
talking
that
shit
bad?
about a leprechaun.
Right.
Is like you talking to me bad about Santa Claus. Like I would like, you went there? Like, come on. You know what I mean?
Is a leprechaun like their sacred guy?
It's like a unicorn. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but a leprechaun is.
It's a weird one.
Fictional.
But it's totally well. It is unless you take the right amount of mushrooms. You can meet leprechauns.
So I mean, to me,
That's where it came from, you know.
Connor is the leprechaun sitting on a big old tub of gold.
He is, right?
Absolutely.
He's got a pot of gold for sure.
So if you think I'm not going to come after that pot of gold, I'm going. Why not? Come to 155. I got open arms, baby.
It would be a fun fight.
I would love it.
I think he really struggles to make 145, and I think with this new law where you can't use the IV, you know, when he fought Chad Mendes, man, at the weigh-in, he looked extremely drawn. His cheeks were sucked in. His body looked really small. Like Uriah and him had some weird little altercation in the hallway.
Right, staged.
And it wasn't staged, but Uriah's not, like, he didn't want to fight in the street with him right before he's going to fight Chad.
I wish a motherfucker would.
I know you do, but what Uriah had said was that he said, dude, he feels really small. Like, he loses a lot of weight. I think he loses like close to 30 pounds or 25 pounds. He gets up to like 170 in the 170 range. Sure. So 155 is where he belongs, really. You know, that's probably the healthy weight class for him. And
how you feel about Aldo and him?
It's a wild fight. It's a wild fight. You know,
can he deal with the kicks?
I tell you what, man. Aldo has been around for so long.
This is a jumping.
This is jumping in.
We're jumping from guns to religion to pre-biblical to.
We're just talking, man.
All right,
that's how it goes.
We're jumping.
This isn't like a radio show.
Like
or
a
anything.
kangaroo, fucking Australian, cunt. Yeah, fucking
the whole thing, man. Budweiser, we're in there. Weed. I think if you look at Aldo,
says he's locked out. Did you lock the fucking door?
Callan's out there?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get him.
Is he out there right now?
Yeah, you got him?
Is he really? Jamie will go get him.
He said I'm locked out.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Tell him we're coming.
Yeah, don't worry.
I love this dude.
I'll give him a key. Shit, he's done podcasts here without me. He's one of the few guys. Him and Brendan Schaub, they had a Fight Companion podcast. But what were we just saying? What the fuck were we just talking about?
We were talking about leprechauns.
Oh no, the Aldo fight. Oh, look who it is, ladies and gentlemen.
This sexy
my
bitch.
Man. Brian Callen has just unexpectedly showed up.
Whatever,
we have
man.
a big show tonight at the Ice House.
Yes, we do. What time do I have to be out of here?
We're good, man. We'll leave here like in a half an hour or so.
Fantastic.
It's just you and me. It's like the show can't start without us.
That's true.
Look at this.
Look how
tomorrow.
Tan Donald is.
We're doing the Ventura. What is it? The Hong Kong.
We're gonna be at the Hong Kong Inn. We got 2 shows at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. I think we're headlining the festival or something.
There's a festival.
Bam.
I guess the Hong
Ventura
Kong Chinese
Comedy
Restaurant
Festival.
Festival.
The Ventura Comedy Festival.
Who booked? You didn't even know. You booked. I let him book things.
I
Why
know.
not?
How
He
dare
likes
you.
money.
I know they pay us money.
I love money.
What's going on, buddy? You do a little
We're
surfing?
just talking about Aldo versus McGregor. We're talking about. He asked me what I thought about that fight.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm curious about the sexy cow and the hammer.
Sexy cow and the hammer.
What do you mean?
What's that?
What do you mean the sexy cow and the hammer?
Where's the sexy cow and the hammer?
Nothing.
He's drunk.
It's
A little bit.
it's code.
It's just a little booze.
Well, I want to know. Yeah, what do you think? I think McGregor's in his head.
He might be, but he might not be. Aldo might be able to fight like a fucking assassin, even
Always has.
under all the shit talking. No one's ever shit talked him before, so we don't know. We don't know how he's going to fight, but we know the guy hasn't lost in 10 years. We know the guy's been beating some of the best guys in the world, and if you look at him when he's on point, you look at like his fight with Uriah, for instance.
Yeah.
Some fucking terrifying leg kicks.
Sure.
Fast as shit.
Yeah.
Fast as shit, and his jiu-jitsu, world class. His jiu-jitsu is very high level. You know, he beat Cobrina in regular jiu-jitsu, a regular jiu-jitsu competition.
He's a beast.
He's a very good fighter in all aspects. I mean, one of the best ever.
I feel like he's in his head. I know that trash talk wouldn't work on Donald Cerrone. I mean, like,
but we were talking about that earlier. You're coming in too late for this conversation.
You're already talking about this stuff?
We already went over it. You talk about the Nate Diaz fight. That
We're jumping. We're jumpers here. We
jump. Time travel.
We try and travel.
Time travel. I like it.
We come and go, and
it's a great fight. But you gotta also. I gotta be honest. Like, I look at Aldo, and even though Aldo has been dominant for so long, is one of the best fighters. He's had a lot of tough fights.
Yeah.
And those eventually will catch up to you.
Yeah.
It's like the Chad Mendes fight. The last fight was a really good fight. It was like a back and forth fight, and Mendes hit him with some fucking bombs. It was a great back and forth fight, and he tagged Mendes with a big shot at the end of the first round. I think the buzzer rang, and then he hit him. It was a little late. It wasn't egregious, but it was a little late, and it fucked Mendes up, and Mendes still came back and cracked him. It was a back and forth war. It was a very close fight.
Has Aldo fought anyone who hits as hard as McGregor?
Well, Chad Mendes hits pretty fucking hard, but I think Conor may have some special power not like a magic power, but I think he's one of those guys that just really has super heavy hands.
He's also accurate as hell, right?
He's just very smart, man. The way he fights is very, very intelligent. You know, I was joking around with Donald about his training methods that he calls it, him and John Kavanaugh's coach, they described it as upgrading your software without damaging your hardware. So they're doing all these like really technical drills on hitting specific points, but they're not like crushing each other.
Yeah.
They're just drilling it into the mind and getting, and you know, and Donald has more of a wild style. You know? Who's out there?
I feel like Donald's
still out there?
changed. I feel like you stand in people's grill more now. You just stand right there like you
You know
can
how
give a
fucking
shit.
cool this is? Two of my favorite comedians in one fucking room. I'm like, do you know how many people would kill for this situation right now?
Donald Cerrone was in the crowd when I taped my Comedy Central special in Denver.
Well, the first time I met Donald, he came. I met him the night before, then he came, and I just saw his hat going back and forth as he was laughing.
Dying.
I just saw your hat. It was the
Six-pack.
greatest. Oh, it was
I
the
had
greatest.
a 9-pack after I left the show. Joe, you know what I'm gonna do for you?
What are you gonna do?
You have fucking VCT in your fucking bathroom in there.
VCT?
Yeah,
What is that?
The shitty cheap tile you got in there.
The tile?
Yeah,
On the floor?
On the floor, and the
Oh.
and the shitty paintbrush.
But this isn't
job in
mine.
there.
This is like a lease. It's-
I'm gonna come in here and fucking hook. I'm not gonna pull a permit, and I'm gonna fucking.
Don't
Are
do
you
it.
just gonna lay tile
I'm
with
moving
your
down
bare
here anyway.
hands?
Well, lay tile. I
moving
might
out of
bite.
here anyway.
I might bite the tile to cut it.
That's great.
I'm getting a new spot.
New spot.
Yeah,
It's a great spot.
Yeah,
Are you bringing the
I'm never
werewolf?
satisfied. I have real problems. I'm never happy with anything.
No.
I have to
Maybe
keep
that's
moving.
I'm the same way. I don't know. If
I don't know
wanna
what
be.
it is.
You're worse than me.
I'm the worst. Like if I'm unhappy
Always
with-
moving.
almost happy with everything, unhappy with everything I do.
Yeah, I'm always that way.
Is that a mummy dancing with a wolf?
No, that's a werewolf fucking a gorilla in the ass.
That's exactly what that is.
I got it.
I had a
turned.
dream.
Here.
I wish I knew the
There
dude
it
who
is.
made that.
That's. I hope you howl at the moon every time you're in that position.
Yeah,
Right
well,
there.
That would be a big woman. If you could grab the back of her shoulders like that, either have a whopper of a dick, or that's a really
I had
big
sex. I had an affair with a girl who was on the Canadian national water polo team.
woman. Oh Jesus!
She had a back on her, and she had a neck, and but she had a really nice body, and she was really pretty, and her hands. Go ahead, man. You're so strong.
You're not even drinking.
Damn. Her hands. What threw me off was just the
How big they
knuckles,
were?
the thickness of her fingers as we would hold hands. I was like, boy,
Whoa.
I feel like a dainty young lady.
Do you know
right
who Gabby Garcia is?
so what you're
Gabby
saying
Garcia.
is your dick looked shamelessly tiny in her hands.
No,
now? Her
he's
dick
a
was, no,
monster
what I'm saying
hog.
is her dick was way bigger than mine.
Kid's got a hog on him.
I got a hog on me.
There's a woman named Gabby Garcia, still is, but she used to be overweight, and she's like world jiu-jitsu champion, and she
Oh,
used to
giant.
have this giant crazy face. Well, she lost all her body fat, and then I guess she might have had some facial surgery, but all of a sudden she's a giant hot chick. It's real weird. She's got a full six-pack. Like, pull up Gabby Garcia
Because I've seen
before
her.
and after.
I've seen her before.
Listen,
She was a
I don't know
house.
what she did, but whatever she did, that took a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
Because she, became, she went from being a big, giant, fat woman
Yeah.
who's a beast at jiu-jitsu, but she was very overweight, to be super slim. Like, she always has these exposed midriff shirts, and she's rocking this fucking ridiculous six-pack. She's just 6'4".
Johnny Cash shirt.
She's
6'4"?
6'4". Fuck yeah, Johnny Cash. My dog's named
I
Johnny Cash.
love it.
How do you not?
6'4".
Jumping, we're jumping again.
Where do you
Yeah.
spend most of your time? Colorado.
Yeah, New Mexico. But I'm going to see Grandma tomorrow. She's
Yeah?
listening live right now. Tell her hello.
Hey, Grandma. How are you? You never know what to say to grandmas. You know what I mean? Hey, Grandma. How are you?
She
And
give
they
you.
lived the
She
whole
give
life.
you the, so. Grandma comes backstage.
See, this is what she looks like now.
Whoa.
That's what she used to look like.
That's
Oh.
impressive as hell. That's like a different person.
Yeah, it totally looks like a different person.
She was
Well,
Look
she
at her
had-
neck and the other one.
I don't know if she had facial surgery, but it seems like she did.
She is just a true specimen. Look at that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's weird.
So you would.
She's giant too. I mean, she's like 6'4". Like, there's a picture of her with Fedor,
That's so
and it's like, holy fuck, she's so much bigger than him.
Look at her now.
See if you find a picture of Gabby Garcia and Fedor. It's like a
Wow.
real
I mean, she's
recent
dwarfing
picture.
Vanderlei Silva there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was when they were on the
Like-
Ultimate Fighter Brazil. But here's the thing,
Vanderlei
man.
looks like she won him in a carnival.
That was only a couple of years ago, dude. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It just was really simple, really similar, recent.
How many beers have you had?
I've had a few. Far right on
Shredded.
top. Bam.
Shredded.
Look at that. That's her. Look at
Oh my
that
God.
body.
Look
man.
at Donald. Yeah, that's a big girl. Is that her boyfriend? Oh, that's Fedor.
That's Fedor, dude.
Dude,
How
that sure
dare
is
you? Is that her
Fedor.
boyfriend?
I hear he's looking good.
Well, he's back. He's making a comeback. He's going to fight in Japan. The problem is there's no fucking opponents for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who
I'll
the
fight
hell
him.
else is like Sergey Karatanov. I'll fight him. Sergey Karatanov.
Donald
How
would
much
too.
time would
I'm
you
like,
need
I'm
to
like,
fight
the,
Fedor?
I'm like the kid the fat kid in Dodge. Pick me.
How much time would you need to fight Fedor?
Tomorrow.
He's amazing.
For real?
I have 100%.
Oh, God.
If he walked in right now through the fucking ape getting fucked by a werewolf on the ground, I'll get up and fuck Fedor up. Not a doubt in my mind.
Wow.
You would just fight him.
Yeah.
I'm scared of Russians. I'll say it right now.
So am I.
I'm scared.
Why? Because of ISIS?
For everything. Did you see this new thing with Putin? Putin took $15 billion from this guy, stole this guy's company, and then the guy's exiled in the south of France, and now he's suing the Russian government. He's
Back to
trying to
suing.
sue
We're
to
back
get
to
his money.
suing
Good
again.
luck-
We're
good
back
luck with
to
that.
suing.
This guy, they took $15 billion of him. He was like Putin's banker. He was
Wow.
like Putin's right-hand man for years, and now this guy is like
15
penniless.
billion.
Yeah, he's penniless.
Billion.
And the guy
well,
said,
I always say a billion seconds is 33 years.
the guy says that Putin is the most wealthy man in the world.
Yeah.
He said he has more control over more money than anyone on the planet. Like
Yeah.
he
Billion
might not be on
seconds.
paper, but they're saying that he might be worth like $200 billion.
Well, because Russia is a one-crop economy. It's all oil.
Yeah.
Guess who controls it? You don't do anything without that.
How does
He's
he
a
do
czar.
that, though? How is he doing that?
Russian
It's
politics
amazing.
has always been that way. It's always been run by a czar. It's always been run really by a group of, it used to be the Politburo, but for the most part, he's just doing what the old Russian model was, which was get the biggest guns on my
Right.
side and I'll kill any. Well,
But it's
there was a story about
2015. I mean,
Yeah.
isn't it crazy when you see a guy who's running like essentially a complete undercover gangster organization?
monarchy.
Dominating an entire country.
He apparently, when they were trying to attract investment in the 90s, the problem was American companies, German companies, French companies coming in, and these gangsters, these Russian guys would come in and go, hey, you got to pay us money. And a couple of them said no, and they just shot him right there in the office. So Putin decided this was going to be a disaster for any kind of foreign investment. So Putin said, all right, well, I know how to deal with this. We know exactly where they are. And when they were
Was that
having
your
the,
Putin voice?
mafia guys hang out together in their own clubhouses or whatever,
Right.
he had these Spetsnaz guys show up in their vans. They just show up in the middle of the day, open up, grrr, and just killed a shitload of them, like 100, 200 in one day. They had a moment of silence apparently before he had his whatever it was, his meeting. They had a moment of silence for the 200 citizens that were killed, and they went on their business. And that was the message to anybody who said you want to shake down foreign companies, see what the fuck happens. They still didn't invest though. But he doesn't.
He's a scary
fuck
dude.
around.
Donald Cerrone will fight him tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, you would.
Tomorrow tonight.
He's a black
Tonight.
belt in judo. You don't care.
Whatever.
I'm a black belt in
Stop.
street.
You're a black
hood,
belt in everything.
in a hood.
Everyone's from a street. I hate that expression.
Donald, if you had to fight,
Who's not from the street? I was born in the meadow.
Are you-
Oh,
bro.
well,
I grew up in the river.
wasn't. I'm not from the street. I was
I'm
born
not from
with
the street,
a giant
bro.
silver spoon in my mouth and
There's no
fucking
roads
pampered.
where I live, bro.
no roads.
I'm in the forest.
Who do you want to punch in the face more than anybody on the planet?
Are you interviewing him or am I?
I'm just
What
curious,
happened?
man. I'm taking
Just
over right
come in?
now. I'm taking over.
The guy from Whole Foods.
Shitty fucking question.
Hey, with your shitty questions, the guy from Whole Foods.
It was a previous story because a guy punched him.
You
Whole
fucking-
Foods parking lot.
Oh,
You're late.
yeah, you
You're
told me-
fucking
you told me that
late.
story.
You're fucking late.
You told me that story.
What made you decide to come over here?
He was texting me.
Oh, why didn't you
Secretly,
tell me
like
that you
I
were
was-
texting him?
Like
Because I thought it'd be more appealing to have three,
Well, why didn't you
two
just
of my
tell
favorite
me?
people in the world.
He's one of my favorite people too. He just had a break. He's making secret texts while we're in the middle of a
Like
podcast.
couple lovers.
He's calling.
Come on over.
Come on over.
Come crash this party.
We're getting
He said the
fucked
door's
up.
locked. I'll send someone right in.
I'm locked out.
You want a key? You could have a key to this
All
place.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Just to hang out.
Sure.
Play
Okay.
pool.
Just make
play
sure you
werewolf and
lock
parrot.
it.
Do people know about the badass werewolf you have outside?
Yeah, there's pictures of it. It used
Pretty
to be,
sick.
before I got the pool table, it used to be the werewolf was the first thing you saw when you opened the door. And I was like, I need to put a go cam
That
on
was the first
top of
thing
the
I
werewolf.
saw when I came in. I was like,
Yeah.
werewolf, cool. Oh, pool table.
That thing is scary.
Do you play pool? You must play pool.
I do have a pool table in the bar at the ranch.
See?
I have a bar that I
Yeah.
built.
But you went.
Damn.
I have every alcohol you could ever believe of.
But
because I don't want
primarily
someone to
Budweiser.
come over. Yeah, kegs, boxes, cases. I
You
don't.
don't
I
want
don't
someone-
want you to come over and say, "Come and pour me this," and I not have it.
Damn. That's gangster.
See, this gets to you psychologically because I know your background, like how you grew up, and you're creating like this environment at that ranch that's not just like a training environment, but a place where like you're trying to give these guys hospitality and bring them into like a family situation.
It's
aren't
a
you?
lot like Neverland Ranch that. We're a bunch of
Neverland?
Neverland?
But not as much butt fucking.
Michael.
We're a bunch of boys come and hang out.
Not as much boo-fooing.
Not as much Jareding is what they're calling it today.
Not as much boy play. Yeah, how about Jared? Yeah.
So
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's like because your grandparents raised you and you're a wild kid and you didn't feel like you've had like that thing when you were talking earlier about trainers that wouldn't put their name on you. Now you're doing the total opposite of that.
The total opposite, absolutely.
I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely, the total opposite. And yeah, if guys call me, they're like, "Yeah, I can afford it." I said, "Don't worry about it. I got you. Let's go it."
So what do you
That's
do there?
awesome,
What's the
man.
ranch?
You're coming in late, bro.
Coming in
Damn it.
late. I let
Jesus,
people have it.
bad
All
motherfucker ranch. He
And-
built
and-
it. Grandpa
and-
bought some property. Happiest moment of his life. Tears almost came to his eye during the podcast. Builds a place. Doesn't get permits. Fucks up because he has the bunk bed set up. Oh, shit. Now what do we do? Now people
jumping.
are sleeping in a barn. Keep propane. If you keep the propane on, it costs $1,500 a night. This is a lot of work.
You're
got
learning
it.
all this stuff.
He doesn't have any power out there, man. He's
Right.
got tanks of flammable liquid. And he's
That's-
shooting guns
that's
everywhere.
safe.
The whole thing is ridiculous.
safe.
He shows me all these guns he's got.
Do you
and
know
he's
if
got-
you shoot a propane tank with a gun, it will not blow up?
Is that true?
Absolutely
trying.
true.
In the
Keep
movies,
trying,
it
it'll
does.
blow
It does in the movies. It will not blow up though.
I had a Navy SEAL tell me when you throw a grenade, it doesn't. There's no fire. You just hear pop and there's
Shrapnel.
it's just smoke, which I was amazed at.
Well, that's annoying. What about the Chuck Norris movies where there's
I
always
know.
an explosion?
Is Chuck Norris still the coolest dude alive or no?
I met him and I was more happy than I've been when I met anybody ever.
In
The first
Expendables,
time
he
I
had a
ever
great
met him-
dye job.
First time
I met Chris
him, I was
Hansen. I was
upset.
pretty happy.
Chris Hansen? You met him in the right spot. He could be.
Yeah, it was.
He's like, I'm so nice to meet you here in public in a bar instead of in a fucking hotel room with a 14-year-old.
Exactly.
Back to Chuck Norris.
I met him in the World Combat League. Remember, he used to have that kickboxing organization.
Yeah. In the dome,
They fought in a
yeah,
bowl.
bowl.
Yeah, I met him there, and just the fact that Chuck Norris knew who I was and gave me a big hug, I was like, God
He
damn
didn't
it.
put his boot up to your face and be like, read the bottom of my boot. What's it say?
He had the
Had that-
shoelace crotch things. Remember those kickboxing pants, the shoelace?
Texas Ranger motherfucker.
Well, I remember
what?
Superfoot Wallace used to have jeans that he advertised in like the back of comic books.
Yeah, well, Chuck Norris did too.
Yeah.
It was Chuck Norris, I think, more than Superfoot.
Chuck Norris has posters
Yeah.
of badass shit that you have to think about if your life is that cool.
Yeah.
Of Chuck Norris.
Yep.
He's a super nice guy too, man.
mean,
is
there
he?
was there was a thing, a banquet for a karate guy who was a famous karate instructor, and he was one of Chuck Norris's friends. So I sat in on they wanted me to sit and like give a speech. Like everybody gave speeches. Like all these old school black belt guys gave speeches, and Chuck Norris gave a speech. I just sat next to Chuck Norris and talked for like an hour and a half. We just talked about the old days of the karate tournaments and the old days of kickboxing and, what it was like to hang out with Bruce Lee. It was one of the best moments of my life.
Wow.
You didn't hit him with any Chuck Norris lines? Like Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth away from him.
How many
I
push-ups
couldn't-
does
I
Chuck
couldn't
Norris do?
annoy him
All
with
of them.
any
All
of
of
that.
them.
You know what?
I
Why
couldn't
not? That
annoy
would have been
him.
like an opening line.
I just knew, first of all, how many times do you ever get a chance to sit and
Right.
actually right next to Chuck Norris in a public setting?
That's how I
you
feel
know,
at this
just
moment right
me
here.
and-
That's how I feel at
I
this
do
moment
too,
right
I
now.
do, man.
We feel the same way.
So I'm
Right.
sitting next to him, and it's just me and him talking. Just me and Chuck Norris right next to each other
so
for like a
bizarre.
fucking hour. It was I was like a little kid. I saw Missing in Action in the fucking movie theater. Lone Wolf McQuade. I was there for all those movies, dude.
Bro, I panicked. I've panicked 2 times with celebrities that were really big. I met Al Pacino, and I was talking to him, and I was like, "Just be cool, Brian, be cool. Don't be an idiot. Don't be spaz. 'Cause I'll spaz out sometimes." And then
Were
I
you
go,
looking at yourself from a third person view?
Kind of. Well, I was just kind of.
That was
He's in
earlier,
the
but
zone.
I was more staring at him, and I was just like, he had a bandana on, and he looked so cool. And he was
Cool.
70, but
So
he looked
cool.
Yeah.
He looks amazing. He's ageless.
you, Brian?
Yeah,
Where you from, New York?
that's a good fucking Al
great.
Pacino.
Yeah.
Never done it before.
That's
was-
very good.
My first time
Was that
ever.
similar to
And
what it was like?
I went like this, and I kill myself. I heard the words coming out of my mouth, and I was like, Brian, stop, you're saying anything. I go, you know what's funny? I go, don't say it, Brian, don't say it. And I said it, I go, I just watched Scarface. It was on TV, and he goes, and I go, I was like, no! Inside, I was like, no! But my face was saying it, and then I looked at him, and he went like this. He goes, oh boy. And that's all he did. And he hugged me. He goes, all right. But no, he shook my hand and he put his shoulder against my chest. I was like, oh, that's the coolest way to ever do anything. I was like, see you later. Then I meet Springsteen backstage. I talked to him for a while. I talked to his wife. I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. 6 months later, with my dad in a bookstore in Idaho, in Sun Valley, Idaho. And I hear his wife say, hi, how are you? And I go, oh, Patty. Hi. She goes, what are you doing? And I go, how's Bruce? Thinking I'd known them because I talked to him for like, an hour.
Yeah.
She goes, ask him yourself. He's right here. And I turn, he's looking at a book I since read called Fiasco. I remember he had his glasses on. And I go, how you doing? And he goes, I met you, we talked backstage. And all of a sudden I realized I folded my arms, but for whatever reason, my fucking arms were really high and my elbows were pointed right at him. And in my mind, I was like, Brian, please let go of your arms. Don't do this. What are you doing? And I go, and this is what I did. I go, did you ski? And he goes, usually we do, but this year we just let the kids do it and we're just sitting. And I went, and I fucking meant to say, I've been skiing all day. My feet are killing me and I'm not going to ski anymore. That's what I meant to say. I've been skiing all day. My boots are shitty. I don't want to ski anymore. And instead I went, with my fucking arms like this, I go, my feet are killing me. And he just looked at me and there was a pause. I go, I'll see you guys later, man. And I've never lived that down. I just felt exactly, but I'm sure they deal with that shit all the time. Just holding myself like that.
Did you just have that same moment right now, like during this podcast? You feel like
I feel embarrassed
in the
right
middle
now.
of what you're doing?
I feel embarrassed.
Hey, do you guys get people when you take pictures that are trembling out of fucking control?
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
I know,
but
and
you know
sometimes
what?
he does as well.
I've had a lot of nervous moments in my life. I appreciate nerves.
Me
it's no
too.
big deal. You know, I
Right?
can't help nerves.
The guy with the camera, and he's like,
I fuck with people, though.
Get the fucking camera working.
I fuck with people. Come on, bitch. What are you doing? What the fuck is with the fucking camera? Get an iPhone, son.
Yeah.
I fuck with them, but I don't.
You deal with that.
just having
Oh
fun.
man! So the greatest domestic disputes that you will ever witness in your life is on a boat ramp. I don't know if you guys have ever been on a boat ramp.
No.
But either the wife is driving the boat and the husband in the pickup, and he's trying to fucking guide her on left foot, no, back it up, back, or she's trying to snake the trailer down, and he's sitting in the boat screaming at her snaking the trailer down while 30 other boats are trying to dock. It's
Damn.
Oh, that seems
It's
like
a
a
moment
nightmare.
That's
that-
interesting, though.
next time I'm there, I'm gonna periscope
that's a
it because
nightmare.
it is you would.
I never thought of that.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I just thought the boats were always in the water somehow.
Man, you know who knows a lot
Well,
about
it's the 4:30. They've been drinking all day.
Right.
Time to get the fuck out of the
Yes,
water.
yes.
That the domestic dispute happens, and it is. It's classic.
They say there and realtors see a lot of dark shit between couples as they're looking for houses and
yeah,
deciding what they
man.
want, or they can't afford a fucking house.
But she wants the house.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it always
yeah,
she?
man.
Why is it the she that always wants it?
Dude, I had a conversation with my buddy about this recently. He was talking about how his girlfriend hates where
There's
they
the
live.
fucking
and
stripper voice
she
again.
wants a fucking
Get,
house.
Pep it up.
What? That's not a stripper voice.
You went from fucking interacting
No, this
to.
is I know a dude who's fucked. And I feel bad.
He's just
That
bringing
this
it down.
Poor dude
He's
is in
bringing
some
it down.
situation
He's
where
bringing it down.
the girl wants him to live over his means,
Oh,
and
boy.
it gets weird, when she's like, "We need a better house. We need to get a better house,"
Yeah.
and he can't really afford a better house, so he's scrambling.
Well,
That's a bad place to be.
A woman I
Yeah.
know is a realtor said they were looking at this house that was like $6 million in New York City,
What?
apartment for $6 million, and they
It's probably
wanted
about 1,300 square feet.
something crazy, yeah.
No yard.
And
no
she
parking.
said her
Well, I
friend
live at
had
the ranch.
her friend had
Just
an
built
apartment that was
5,000
$10 million.
scream jar.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. You can buy like a nothing for
Meanwhile, he shoots guns in his yard right off his fucking toilet.
Missed that too. We got a fucking new silencer.
You're gonna say I want really?
Yep.
Well, I
He's
wanna
got a
come shoot
bench rest on his
silencers.
toilet. He's just looking out the window in case a stray antelope.
No, I don't shoot fucking big
He
game.
doesn't shoot big
Don't
game,
shoot big
sir.
game,
It's
just
illegal.
birds.
Birds.
shoot.
I'm a bird man.
You're a Birdman.
Bird man.
Just any bird, they insult you with their freedom.
Just a poor,
So what were you saying?
overpopulated
So,
bird.
so she goes. She was showing them the house, and she said, "I have another place. It's just a little too, it's a little bit out of your price range." And it was $8 million. And this girl's friend had a $10 million house, and she
Oh,
looked at her
my
husband and
God.
went, "How could you fucking do this to us? As in, you don't have enough money."
Got him.
And
8 mil.
he went, instead of going, "See you later," he went, "Sorry."
Oh my God.
How about that, man? That's how people live sometimes.
Well, that's people that if they don't have any other interests other than materialistic things, then you that's what you chase.
Yes.
And there's a real problem with that in this fucking city. There's a real problem with people that are only chasing that.
Yes.
And they're not looking at the big picture of life. They're defining themselves by how much money their house costs, how much, what neighborhood they're in, what kind of car they're driving. All that stuff is them. And there's no other stuff. There's no MMA
society
career, there's
looks
no
at
stand-up
that.
comedy, there's no...
Society looks at that. If you show up and you're living in your school, kids go to this school and you live in this area and you drive the Range Rover, that's your...
Status
You
is
know what,
status
though,
is
man?
very important.
Yes,
to
but
people.
I think that
always has
term
been.
society, I think that
Pre-biblical.
term's changing.
Pre-biblical
That term's changing.
status.
Well, because of the internet, people there's a bunch of people that don't think like that, and now they can all agree. Whereas before, what was put out in front of you was what was on commercials, what was you saw the hero have in the movie. Burt Reynolds has a Trans Am. I fucking need a Trans Am. Like, all that stuff was the only way we associated with ideas about items. But now, because of the internet, you'll talk to people that go, you know what, man? I live in a fucking trailer that I drive around in my truck, and I just go to different places and I climb mountains. That's like that Alex Honnold guy.
Honnold, yeah.
He lives in a fucking van.
Yeah. But that goes back
that's cool too, and he'll find fans, people that admire him because of that.
I think that and I think that some people who chase money, it has a lot of meaning. Some people were humiliated by being poor when they were kids.
Right.
Money it makes them feel powerful, safe, whatever. But I was trying to isolate kind of the two times I'm the most happy, the two things that matter to me the most.
When you
I think
have
it's
money in your
laughing with
pocket.
my friends and getting better at something.
I thought it was coming with a finger in your ass.
And coming with a finger on my ass. Obviously,
but
it's
you
part of
told
laughing
me.
with my
So
friends.
you're telling
Dude, you
me when you
told me.
cash
Laughing with
that
my
fucking
friends.
check and you see an extra comma in your bank account, you're not fucking just tickled pink?
I'm not really, but I'm weird that way, and he knows that.
He's so weird. He drives a fucking shitty car.
Yeah.
He drives this goofy fucking
I could
Volkswagen. I'm
afford
like,
a nice
dude, you
car.
have money. You could have something that you drive that's a pleasure.
Yeah.
You enjoy it, and it changes your transportation to a ride.
No,
you're on a Disneyland ride every day.
I like getting better at something and being a silly goose with my friends and a finger in my ass.
Yeah. And if what?
Sorry.
Okay, we got to end this, man. We got a show in
On
an
that
hour.
note-
And on that note, Donald, motherfucking Cowboy Cerrone, thank you, sir. I'm glad we did this.
so
we
am
could do
I.
this
Yes,
anytime you're in town, man.
Look at the trifecta I'm sitting here.
we
It's
could do
fucking
this
unbelievable.
forever. We could probably have about 100 of these
greatest.
easily.
Well, we'll see how everyone reacts. And
They fucking love it. If
we'll
they
see how
don't,
if
fuck
we don't
'em.
get
The
at
ones-
least a couple
fuck 'em.
hundred YouTube comments, I'm fucking
You're gonna
dead.
get plenty of comments. Look,
They love you.
most people are gonna love it. You gotta what does the Bible say? You gotta separate the wheat from the chaff. Is that the Bible?
The wheat from the chaff.
Yes.
If you don't have a fucking sword, go and get one. Sell your cloak and get a better one.
Damn
Is that
right,
what the Bible
brother.
says?
Yeah.
God damn it! They're selling swords in the Bible.
Yeah.
Sell your cloak and get one.
I don't remember that passage, but
Sell
you
your
know,
cloak
Donald
and get a
says it
sword,
exists.
bitch.
there.
You know,
Sell your
Donald,
cloak.
you know how pious Donald is.
I don't
Always making the cross
I don't know
before
if
he
I'll
fights.
ever own a cloak. I might go to the grave with no cloaks.
I want a cloak, man.
I'm thinking right now. I need some Dracula cloak.
I want to own a lot of land and walk around in my cloak.
Yeah.
And I want to just order my servants around. Bring me a coconut, 2 straws, and some shaved ice,
And I
please.
want pack llamas.
Oh, yes.
So when I shoot animals in the woods, I can bring the pack llamas and they'll pack it out.
That's good. I want hamsters to feel in my hands, please.
I want a few guinea pigs around the house just in case I need to eat them like the people do
Guinea
in Peru.
pigs.
Just
they, eat
kid.
they keep them in the kitchen. They're all scrambled around
Really?
the kitchen. And
I just
every
want
now
them
and then
for
they grab one
petting.
and eat them.
I want them for petting and pressing against my
They
genitals.
apparently don't miss each other. They never where's Waldo? They don't give a fuck about Waldo. Are the peanuts out? Yes, they're good.
They say cats are like that. Cats could give a fuck about their owners.
Well, when their owners die, cats eat their faces.
Is that true?
Did you know that? Yeah, Big John McCarthy was telling me that. He said the worst thing you want to find is a guy who's been dead for a couple of days and he's had cats. Or
Damn.
she. Yeah, the cats just eat your face. When you stop giving them cat food, they just start eating you.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa. They eat your face.
Wow. Fucking
They'll eat your
cats.
face for a long time, too, until you get really rotten. When you get really rotten.
Is it
and then,
because you're not there to feed them and they're hungry?
Yep.
Oh.
They don't. They don't.
really
your
domesticate.
dog will fucking starve to death. Most dogs. Maybe you might be a cunt to your dog. Your dog might eat you too. But most dogs will sit there and they
Just die.
want. Yeah, they want
What
their
about
owner
a
to wake
tortoise?
up.
I have a fucking tortoise that, but he's gonna live to be 200 years old.
Tortoises are man-eaters.
Yeah.
If you faint, they eat your face. And
They
attack
go
your face.
asshole first.
Yep.
You might wake up and you have no asshole.
They work.
I'm dead
They
at
work
this
in the
point,
asshole. They can only get their head so far.
I
up.
have narcolepsy. Don't eat my asshole. I'm fine, you fucking
That's
shitty
right.
turtle.
They beak your asshole.
Can't they go a long time without food too?
I don't know. I know.
So if I call
Snakes do.
if I call
Crocodiles
my
eat
wife
once
and
a year
call in sick, I can
Yeah.
come to the show tonight.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Dude, come to the show.
Yeah, you can come for
Come drive
sure.
with me.
Absolutely, man.
Come. Can I plug my date this weekend?
Okay, where are you at?
Come. I'm going to be at the San Jose Improv.
San Jose
Friday,
Improv,
Saturday, Sunday.
one of my favorite places in the world. You know who
Really?
lives near there? Luke Rockhold, Donald Cerrone's favorite person.
Can I plug
Habib
my?
Nurmagomedov.
Can I plug my event?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Orlando, Florida, December
right.
19th, and fucking new champion of the motherfucking world. Give me a new belt buckle.
Can't wait.
Holla.
I'll be there. You
You
know
gonna
I'm
be
going to be
there?
there. I'll be there for my
I'm gonna
boyfriend,
be
Donald
there.
Are you
Cerrone.
gonna
I'm gonna
there?
be there. Best seat in
I'm
the
coming
house.
with you.
Do you want to do the gig with me the night before?
Yeah, December
Okay.
19th.
Yeah,
Can
whatever the
I-
night before is. I'm doing a gig.
can
I'm
I
doing a
come?
theater. Fuck
So
yeah.
crush tickets
Orlando,
now.
Florida?
Of course.
Okay,
I'm
tickets
down.
now.
Yeah.
Need those. Come be the night before.
Yeah, I'm
100%.
booking something. I'm booking some theater in there on Friday night. So
Now
we'll
that
do
we
it
can't
together.
IV, I'll be
Yeah.
out of there earlier.
Would
There
you
you
get
go.
nervous thinking
Perfect.
about that date, or are you ready?
He's excited.
Born ready.
Born ready,
love it.
bitch. How dare
Such a
you?
badass.
He's full of Skull and Budweiser.
Look what happened with
he's
the
a bad-
Jamie
he's an
Varner fight.
American
Round 2,
badass.
smashed him. Coming.
Donald
Do you wish
Cerrone is
you
an
had a piece
American
of hay
badass.
right now?
I
that
wish
you
I had a
chew
fucking.
on?
I wish I had a fucking $1 billion and a huge belt buckle. So
All right, we gotta end this. It's 7 o'clock. We gotta show.
Dos Anjos, I'm fucking coming 19th, motherfucker, and new.
You heard him.
Loud.
I'll be rubbing.
Joe
banding
Rogan.
I'm rubber
Callan
banding my
in
underwear.
this bitch.
Donald
Yes, sir.
Cerrone, motherfucker.
Donald, you hear this? Donald, get him kicking.
All right, we're out, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Much love. See you soon. Bye bye.
Yeah. 3 hours, huh?